All right, everyone. I want to thank you all so much for joining us on this wonderful Thursday evening for some more D&D right here on Lionhead Gaming. And since it's Thursdays, that means it is time for some Song of Rapture. I know I am eager to get into it, so I will pass the reins over to Monsieur Omen so we can get started.
So, when we last left our valiant vanguard, they were standing at the very edge of what would be a climactic and violent and hopefully exciting and entertaining series of combat. But how they got there is not really my story to tell. It seemed they went on their own little adventure just the night before they encountered this in a specific challenge of theirs. They got into some rabble-rousing. So, as quickly as we can someone tell me what happened on the last episode of the Song of Rapture?
I don't know about quickly, but I certainly can. Alright. So let's review the last few accomplishments, shall we, Vanguard? We confronted Obsidius the Pretender, scattered his followers, slew him in his lair, and set about taking all of his treasure for ourselves. We worked with the Wizard Governing Council, the Incantation of 10, to craft a host of interesting new magical items, or at least get a consultation on what we may need in the future. And then after a bit of relaxation, we set off via teleportation to heal Luna's arm. In the process, meeting Tamar Khan's brother Mandri Khan, an accomplished spellcaster in his own right, and guide to a strange pool where we aided Luna in confronting the shadows that clung to her. The foul creatures who crave what they cannot have. We bested them and healed her. We enjoyed a council meeting with the Wizard King, Jedi Al-Sahir, and a review of the world's events in the coming year. War brewing to the far northeast, nuptials to the west, and an eerie silence from Skyreach and its church. After that, we explored the city of Roka, traveling to this arena to arrange this contest in celebration of the new year and build our fame and reputation. From there, we had a guided tour of the ziggurat with Ailoros showing us through its expansive layers and dedicated halls to all the major gods and goddesses, as well as a few lesser-known ones like the Serpent Empress, where we met Izhael there for apparently the second time. And I'm sure he's watching from on high in the stands to see if we're as good as people say. From there, we sort of went our own ways, Luna staying to pursue the necromantic arts connected to the Shadowfell and needing to add to her toolbox for dealing with the spirits that reside within. I myself went carousing in the noble district, glad-handing, meeting nobles, talking with them, and getting a feel for the city, and did a fair amount of gambling. Tamir has been catching up with his brother, apparently, annoying him for some little scheme or prank or something. Not really sure. Persephone not only explored the Elven Quarter and did some gambling of her own, but also caught up with her old druidic teacher via her dream-walking abilities, getting some much-needed wisdom, if I understood things correctly. Swift Hollow discovered a less-than-lawful place underneath Roka in a weird sort of way. A grey to black market for acquiring, well, things you would not otherwise acquire. She picked up an interesting spread of items from there that I'm sure she's eager to make use of. And Quildor caught up with an old flame in Nuzo Hintha, the proprietor of one of the finest pleasure houses in Roka. He'd offered his services to her in exchange for a hefty loan, but was turned down. She was a businesswoman after all. But she was intrigued by his transportation and cargo offer in regards to Skyreach, though our old friends, the Gilded Coffers, were quite heavily interested in doing business with her as well. Hopefully she heeds my advice when it comes to them. Most recently, though, we gathered up as a group to visit Nuzo's wonderful establishment, enjoy fine drink and food, and place bets on the upcoming arena fights. Well, our fight. And gamble, of course. Yeah, get back over here. But...
Is he riding a lion up there?
We did also encounter a marvelous high rollers table, where anyone who was anyone was going to be. Hazem V. Roland, the noble of the merchant district, Freyami, a representative of the Elven Market and owner of the Desert Grove, Mirzore, how on earth do you say that?
Mirzore.
Mirzore, a master sculptor and artisan, and a mysterious drow, who almost definitely would have been a noble, by the name of Kazma. And, of course, Magnus McDonnell, owner of Odds and Inns in Brokenridge. Hefty coin purses indeed. But we stacked the deck and the table, with nearly every member of the Valiant Vanguard at this table, save for Quildor, who was enjoying Nuzo's company. We bought our way in and gambled not only for coin, but reputation, favor, notoriety. Well, a few of us, anyway. Swift Hollow, in an elegant disguise as a traveling merchant who was interested in doing business with the Valiant Vanguard, and Tamaya Khan, playing the role of a senile senior simpleton whose granddaughter was just as likely to box his ears as bake him a pie. We were all interested in building wealth and having a great time, but when push came to shove at the final hand of the night, it was not only Swift Hollow's expert planning and seating arrangement, her delicate and quick sleight of hand, or her experienced preparedness in acquiring magically enhanced cards from the black market that enabled our success, but also the quick-thinking, irresistible charms of my precious Luna and her innate magic sealed the deal, making sure that no one would step away from the final bets. Potent curios and magical trinkets of all sizes and interest on the table. In addition to their well-played hands, the rest of us did well in trusting Swift Hollow to win it out for the Valiant Vanguard. We all gambled things that, for a lot of us, were fairly precious and not easily parted from. We stuck together when the chips were down. We do that not only when our lives are in danger, but our coin as well. I like that about us, Vanguard. At the end of the day, we may not braid each other's hair or share campfire stories all the time, but we care for each other in the best way possible. Our actions. We're always watching out for one another, trying to help each other succeed and overcome challenges that would break lesser bonds. We all looked at the impossible mountain that was a dragon, and we climbed it together. We persevered in the face of adversity, overwhelming odds, and ill favor at times, and we did not break rank, we did not cut loose and run. We are family, Vanguard. A stern grandfather, a kooky uncle, a bubbly little sister, and a mysterious aunt. 2 moms and a bunch of weird stepchildren. We may not always get along. In fact, it will be rare that we ever all agree on something. But as long as everyone is heard, everyone is loved, everyone is valued and protected, the Vanguard will live on. The Vanguard will fight on. My times in speaking to you all like this, so openly, so emotionally, will be infrequent. I may not always have the words, we may not always have the time, but when we are lost in the foe-ridden dark of some dank temple, trailblazing through a forest full of colors we couldn't imagine, or facing down the maw of an unspeakable horror, always remember these words. This moment, what we've done so far, and look forward to what's to come. You all are mine, and I am yours. Now, let's face this so-called pharaoh, this so-called queen of snakes. We've slain one pretender already, have we not? With me, Valiant Vanguard, onwards to glory.
Give yourself some DM inspiration and roll yourself a D100.
Oh.
And you all get 15 temporary hit points.
As we will return to the Valiant Vanguard at the end of Samantha's not only sort of recapping speech, but also her empowering and collective speech she gave to her allies to bring them closer together as they now find themselves in the heart of the arena barracks. As you guys are preparing yourselves, strapping.
We're in the barracks. No, we're in the barracks. I was like, okay. I thought you were gonna send us to the battle map.
Oh, we're not there yet. Although it seemed the Vanguard got a taste of what they're going to face at the end of last session, we truly return to the barracks. They are given at least an hour or so to prepare themselves. Again, put on their armor, adjust it, go through the wares they have here. Some people may not always come into the arena with the armor they need, so they have plenty to spare. As Samantha has just come to the end of her great speech, granting everyone in the group a 15 temporary hit points due to her
inspiring leader ability.
There you go.
Yeah.
As you guys
I feel extra dexterous, as if even if I take a hit, maybe I can just shrug it off.
As you are given an hour of time to prepare yourselves in the heart of the barracks. Outside, you can hear what sounds to be the muffled calls of a crowd slowly building. You could hear the muffled roar of a loud and powerful voice you recognize immediately as Vin Catali, trying to arouse the crowd for the fights to come. But for now, you guys have time to mentally or physically prepare. What are you guys up to?
Meditating and rearranging my spells.
When I'm going to pull out a small little cauldron, put it on the floor, and just turn to everyone and say, okay, I need a lock of hair from everyone. That's it.
First doesn't question. Okay. First pull
A
out
lock of hair.
What do you need my hair?
And hands it to Luna.
Do you have a place in particular, from the hand, from the chest, from something more unmentionable?
Intimate.
Darling, I think you would know. I don't really have hair.
Cut off a snake.
Really?
I mean, there is an alternative. The hair was the better of the two options, as Luna would produce her elven knife. Blood will suffice.
What do you
Okay,
need
as
it for?
Purse holds her hair close to her own chest, and now I need to know what it is you need this for.
Spell.
Yes, we realize that.
To do
Witch.
what?
It will allow us to communicate without speaking.
Okay. Holds out hair again.
You do? Like, wait. Like, do we hear everybody's, like, in our head?
Is it like the rings? Except you don't have to speak into it.
Exactly.
I did not realize you had such magic, but you need a piece of me in order to use it.
Mostly, just anything. There's no concept of DNA in this world, is there?
What about, like,
Cut off a chunk of my hair and give it
what
to
about
Luna.
a nail clipping? Would that work?
It
I
does
believe so.
clone, technically.
Yeah, so, Samantha, why don't you just cut your nails? Like one.
Oh, couldn't she just give you, like, a scale?
Wouldn't that hurt?
Or wouldn't that just
Do you
be
shed?
peeling off skin?
I have more questions about your hair now.
And Samantha sort of just like reaches in past her armor, close to the center of her chest, and so you just sort of wince for a moment. And she just pulls out what looks like about the size of a thumb, a single shiny green scale. Will
Yes,
this
the booby
suffice?
scale.
It's a heart scale, Quildor.
Ripped off her whole nipple.
I didn't say that in Quildor's voice. Ah, yes, the nipple! The nipple scale!
Oh, Jesus.
That's the heart scale. Just the whole. Don't worry, I've got 3 more.
Papa.
I'm not sorry.
You should be.
That's canon now, so, yeah, alright.
Are you sure about that?
There are going to be 3 rounds of battle, correct?
Yes.
How much hair do you need, Luna?
Simple strand.
Just the strand?
Purse looks at her little tuft as she cut off.
I'd rather
You
not
should've-
sully my looks for this. She just flicks off a single strand of hair and then drops into the cauldron.
I can
follows
put it
To
in
a
one.
scale.
Mine
Drops her
happens to
you-
grow rather quickly.
I'm sure whatever we cut off of you will grow twice as thick by the next day.
What is our strategy in this battle? Divide and conquer? All-out
Look.
warfare?
I mean, it's
We don't
supposed,
know
Well,
exactly
keep in
what it
mind-
is we're going to face.
it's supposed
That
to be
is true.
entertainment, right? I've never
Yes.
really had to fight anything for show.
Keep in mind, we are not doing this fight for sport. We're not killing the animals because we want the animals to die. This is a matter of branding. As with Hollow, like holds up her right hand and then using her left sort of gestures to it as she casts minor illusion on to create the Valiant Vanguard symbol in the palm of her hand. This is a matter of something greater than all of us. The Valiant Vanguard brand now transcends all of us ever since we claimed we were all Dragon Slayers. This is now a name and a brand. And with Samantha Deus's Guildhall prospect, this is now a business model as well. This is not simply just a matter of slaughtering animals. We need to make sure that our brand has some backing to it. Yes, the title Dragon Slayer is good, but this is the time that we need to enforce our might. Make sure the name the Valiant Vanguard needs something to be revered and respect, or, to the worst of them, feared. We need to make sure this is something that is memorable, and word to mouth, especially from, at least from the Desert City, is something that we need.
Though,
Make a show of it. Don't go all out, of course. We will need it for that Pharaoh
Pharaoh.
final worm thing. But
I
make
have a
sure
lot
it's a
of-
show of force, is what I'm trying to get at. This is
Okay.
the time to be a showboat. If you have any.
yes, your strikes are always quick and efficient. And while your speed is, I'm sure, quite compelling, I think less than Quild or, I don't know, the Silver Knight. We may need a bit of that sand whisperer, my friend. A bit of that elegance. That which keeps them from being able to look away from you. And I am sure you are more than happy to be a free spirit in this fight, Tamiya-kun. So, let out all of that rambunctious energy and showcase who you really are.
I'm certainly more adept at making a fool out of myself, but I'll see if I can make a show of it at the very least.
We need to make sure we can make a show of it.
No, we'll make a show of it. I plan to drink this in the final battle as I hold up my potion of enlarge.
Oh, that will be very
What
interesting.
does that do?
It makes me very large.
Oh,
Like
like the one
Tamar-Khan.
that's Tamar-Khan. Right. Yes, that would be good.
Speaking of potions, as they were speaking, Luna was over there putting all the pieces of her party members into the cauldron, putting some water in there, using prestidigitation to heat it up. And then also from her component pouch that I bought, that I keep forgetting to tell you that I bought, just puts random herbs and flowers and just fruits inside of it as it just continues to boil. It turns into this very grayish muck as she pours that into shot glasses, and she passes it out to the party members.
Wait, we're
Remember?
supposed to drink
Dear
this?
Luna, what is this?
It's the spell that I mentioned. I suggest you hold your nose closed. It helps with the taste.
Looks
She's going
delicious.
to-
Bottoms up.
What's in it? Smells like flowers.
Our hair and her scale.
It's
As with Hollow takes a shot.
So they
delicious.
So he just pulls out the Rum Runner's Choice and uncorks it. I've never chased a potion with alcohol before, but... And just fucking takes big swigs from the fucking Rum Runner's Choice.
I'm assuming the spell does not last forever.
Oh, we do have to keep doing that.
Only lasts for an hour. Luna says without speaking.
Wait,
Whoa.
I heard that in my brain.
It's
Oh
the point
dear,
of the
it's
spell.
working. Oh, I don't suppose you could figure out a way to change the spell to not taste so awful.
Harry.
Well, I mean, not everything can taste like cherries and bubblegum.
What's bubblegum?
It's a product of the elven market. Have you not been? They take these
No.
like strange sort of rubbery trees and chop them down and add flavoring to them. It's quite, well, not tasty, just something to chew on.
Oh, like
dried
coffee.
meat, but made from plant.
Ah,
Get
another
to enjoy
elven
this
line
flavor 2 more
specialty.
times. Wonderful.
You can certainly have some Rum Runner's Choice to follow it up with if you'd like.
Don't mind if I do.
So I
Well.
hand the bottle over to Samirkan. And you taste that feeling that Samantha had having beaten Obsidious and taken basically everything that was his as her own. All that work, that success, that payoff, warm feeling flows through you.
We may have to do this another time for the last fight, but it should last us through the first two.
Okay.
Oh, you get enough respite for you to conjure that spell again. Does anyone know?
Thought we had an hour before each fight, right?
Half an hour.
Half an hour.
There you go.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, 3 fights, 2 rests, right? I'll be, of course, casting my magic and trying to stay out of trouble. I don't really know what the situation's going to be, but I'll be making sure to sort of, well, twist and pull on my magic as much as I can to make it as impressive as I can.
Impressive
suggest-
or grand, one way or another. We just need something memorable that the onlookers can attach to our name.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, Samantha, last time we fought just creatures or the dragon, you decided to wrap yourself around it and get yourself hurt. So I'm going to put this on you, as I will just put my hand on Samantha's neck and on the back of it, just kind of a slight twinge for a second, and after removing her hands, a little moon will be on the back. It's a crescent moon, just a black crescent moon tattoo will be on the back of your neck. And I will also do the same on the back of my neck, and twin cast Death Ward on both of us.
Ooh.
You can see like my snake sort of like part the way for your hand to get to the back of my neck, and then as it pulls away you can see a few of them sort of like go back behind her and sort of cock their heads at the back of her neck, because I have really weird vision that's almost impossible to really fucking imagine.
Oh, he ran off. A lot
Oh,
of sorcery points.
that is how kind of you.
What does it do? What was that spell?
as Luna has left for a quick moment.
Yeah, Samantha knows what it does. Wow.
You've decided to mark me as your own, Luna. What is this?
Nothing so romantic. It's supposed to keep you from dying.
Oh. Well, that is something I
Avoid
desperately
against
want to
death.
avoid.
Worst case scenario, I still have my magic to bring you up.
Yes.
But it
and
makes you
let's-
immortal.
I doubt that.
I went Lucas there for some reason.
Lucas fucking pops
It's
in.
the
It's
the Roman
immortality.
choice. That's all it is.
I lose my accent when I get drunk. I am sorry.
I heard in this world I could be immortal, a god, if you will.
Oh god, the realms, they're converging.
But no, it doesn't feel immortal. It only lasts about 8 hours. It only works once.
Oh,
Well,
that makes more sense.
let's make sure that you don't get knocked out.
Got it.
Oh, Ethan. As it should be.
Yes, I definitely
What
do
do the
not want
weapons look-
such an ignoble death.
What do the weapons look like?
They look pretty
all
stock
like
standard.
push forward.
Some of them are a bit more archaic in design. Not like they have like the typical Roken like curved swords for like short swords and scimitars, but like everything else seems pretty, I guess, like Greek in design, pretty stock and blocky. Your short swords that aren't curved are like gladiuses. Your long swords are almost without hilt, except for like a small catch of guard. They're pretty old looking, but they look like they function pretty well. There are bolts and arrows for crossbows and bows and the like. There are small darts, small needles and sharp knives that you can palm in your hand if you need darts for them. Slings and bullets made out of, it looks like polished metal.
They have long bows.
They certainly do.
I will take one and throw my old one away. As I'm sure it's probably barely holding together after everything we've been through.
Yeah, it definitely seems like, although it definitely looks, actually, probably looks about the same age as yours. But this one's definitely in better condition.
It did not go through a volcano.
But yeah, and same with the armor. A little archaic looking, but it looks like it all functions if you need any sort of armor. Even plate.
I was wondering if your bow had always had that sort of ashen color to it. It did seem
No,
a
it
little
was-
odd.
It was just about burnt all the way through. I think I'll take some of this heavy plate mail though. This might be very useful.
Really?
No, I keep.
Total will take one of the short swords.
Okay.
Ah, barbaric.
Shwing.
I do love that I could wear it if I wanted to.
You have
You could just be
Is
a
that for
crazy
cleric
monkey in
levels?
plate and be fine.
It's from Claire. Well,
War cleared.
Would you gain AC by doing that?
I got,
Lose all your
I got
monk
20
features,
deck. There's no
Oh yeah.
Okay.
it's not
Is there anything else you guys want to do?
balanced for my ideals, but it should be good enough for showboatiness.
Let's go fucking kill everything and put on a show.
Indeed.
What kind of helmet do nobles wear? Is it usually just like breastplates, like something? Like I know on the stat block it's technically a breastplate, but do they lean towards medium armor or do they lean towards like leathers? Or clothing?
Yes.
I feel like it would depend on the region and the noble.
Usually breastplates are that
So-
quick. You would know from your experience, breastplates are probably the most affordable thing. A noble can go in full plate, but they're not strong enough to do that, and chainmail is way too heavy. So use something medium. It's something they can fit underneath their fancy clothes. Someone comes up and stabs it with a knife. It plinks into a big old silver breastplate. Thank God they wore that.
Excellent.
Okay. And Smith Hollow will change her armor to just look like utilitarian noble clothes, but with a breastplate on. Big old shiny breastplate.
Okay. Nice. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do while you're prepping? That's your telepathic bond created. You've been inspired. A couple of you have been marked with magic.
Looks at a pile of spells to make sure if there's anything she'd want to cast. That's concentration, isn't it? Yeah, it is. No, I think I'm pretty much good. I already got my temporary HP. Yeah, let's do this thing.
If you have a large thing planned, something that you need time for, give me a shout. I will do what I can to protect you. I may be able to dissuade enemies from trying to strike you.
Let's be sure to take advantage of this bond that Luna's created to tell each other what it is we're going to do. We should be able to hear each other quite clearly over all the cacophony outside. As I click the ready button.
Oh yeah,
All
everybody ready up so we can get into the match.
Oh, I
will
pushed
say-
that 20 minutes ago.
Have any concerns about me, about fighting beasts of the land? I will not be holding back against them. I know I come from such humble beginnings, but well, a beast in an arena, life is forfeit. I hope, Persephone, are you alright with such?
It's just the way these things are. And it's not like my magic is merciful. So I don't have a choice much in the matter myself.
If you wish, I can attempt to save as much life as I can.
I don't think the trial will let us.
We'll
I
see.
mean, I won't be. I have no way of locking them away, but knocking a dog silly, making sure that it does not take its last breath, that is something I could try.
Try it. And if we are allowed, then that's enough for me. If we're
I
not,
would do
we
my
try.
best.
I cannot hold back. Like you've
I'm not
said,
expecting everyone to
Tanaka,
make the same promise. It's okay.
a monkey is just a monkey until it's not.
Indeed.
She sort of looks at you and just, like, gives a sly grin.
Did you hear that?
What?
Yes, it sounds like rain outside, actually.
Okay, did you hear that?
Your
No.
thoughts?
Test. Did you hear that?
Yes, I can hear
Yes.
you.
Yes?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's how that works. So you want to... It's like talking. It's like whispering versus yelling. Just project your thoughts loud. It seems that normal thinking will not clutter our speech.
I never thought I would see
But
the
don't
day that
shout.
Samantha would willingly allow Persephone's voice inside of her mind.
She's gotten a lot better over these last few months. But if
Persephone,
she's
like-
too annoying... You see like a crackle down my scepter.
Look at Swift Hollow intently for a moment. Very obviously just beaming at.
Yeah, Swithella looks back at you. As you see, she takes one of her daggers and she just glides it with a shink just down one of the short swords. She just, in a flourish, turns the short sword so that the blade is opposite to her thumb, and then starts looking at you. What?
So you cannot see images, it seems. Probably a good thing. Don't worry about it. No, it is.
Probably!
Yeah.
Coming from you! Yes! A very good thing, actually!
Or lesser woman.
Like I said, a kooky fucking uncle. Let's go.
The arena we are.
All right. With all preparations completed, your guys are eventually escorted out towards the center of this great and expansive stadium that you've seen the day before. But now these the actual like seats surrounding you, the actual like auditorium around you, these massive high, like almost I think in greatest height, almost 80 feet tall. These rafters of sorts are filled. You can see maybe just a glimpse of familiar faces here or there, but there are tons of people, thousands, all of them now cheering in excitement as it seems that the stars of the show have arrived. And just as you witnessed at the end of the last session, you are greeted by the MC of this challenge, Vin Katali, who announces your presence, gives you your one last chance to back down from this fight, before eventually telling you a quick story, something that accompanies these challenges, apparently. A tale beyond the age of the gods who first made mankind, when the world was ruled not by man, but by beast, but truly by the Titans, these great entities who resided over the world of Hearth above them. And he describes that in those later ages of the Age of the Titans, that there was a great war between the beasts who lived across this land and those who served the Titans. Those of intelligence and evolution who had grown stronger and smarter thanks to the ways of a conniving creature who would soon become a god. And the beasts who fell with their masters in the inevitable end of this war. These creatures covered in scales and spikes and mouths filled with teeth, hands covered in claws, and minds filled with nothing but desire for death and destruction. Those known as the Titan Horde. As you guys are bared witness to the revival of these creatures in great golden flames that surround you, bringing forth what look to be skeletal forms that eventually burst into life, revealing these ancient creatures. Two of them being particularly prominent. One of them, a horrifying beast with blue scales covering his titanic body and a head, basically a body that's more mouth than anything, filled with teeth as long as knives, large enough to tear through you and consume you, possibly in a single bite. And the other one you face being a massive champion of the beast, covered in red, what looks to be fur, but is reality just hair. A massive, broad-shouldered and stocky-looking giant ape who pounds his chest and roars out defiantly before you, as we will finally return to where we left the Vanguard, standing at the center of this first challenge in the Trial of the Beast. As I'm going to need y'all to roll some initiative.
Preparation as these skeletal forms are pulling up into creation and regrowing skin and hair. I'm going to pull out the small little pencil-like object in my belt, spin it as it extends to its 5-foot length. As you can see on my right shoulder, this large glow appears as a large pauldron forms on my right shoulder. It looks like a big old screeching monkey made out of gold. As from my belt, it seems like this large animal fur just extends outwards, protecting the back of my legs. As I pull out my weapon, cast my Shield of Faith on myself. Expect a minute or two before. Oops, that's 10 minutes.
No, especially that one.
You have the large monkey to icon.
What I can do.
I will take the lizards to the south.
Occupy the lions.
Glad I rolled well now. Interesting. Let us see how this large one dances.
Does anyone want to mount? Because I might call some Fae friends to help.
I might obstruct my dance with the lions. Aye.
Alrighty. As we come to the top of initiative, Swift Hollow. With your ability to act at the beginning of initiative, is there anything you want to do?
Am I not cheating? Is it not cheating if I do that?
No. Before initiative starts, you get to do a thing. That's part of your boon.
I do get to do a thing, but it was also like, oh, but you can't move out of the circle. You're disqualified, something or other. So
the match began. The match began.
Begun.
Basically, the things are summoned. So anything you want to do? Swift Hollow.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably need my yeah, I think I might need my reaction. So Hollow will stand ready with her friends, look defiant.
All right. As Sotal stands ready, Tamar Khan, it seems like you are up. What do? You see this massive ape growing before you as these other beasts start to swarm behind him. He opens his mouth and lets out this horrible, terrible roar.
Step forward in a pretty loud voice myself, just... As I start to slowly walk towards him, just speaking out to this strange creature. You're a loud one. Welcome back to the land of the living. I'm sorry your stay would not be very... As I break out into a sprint, as I get basically right in front of him, I plant my staff into the ground and launch myself a good 5 feet or so up into the air directly at his gut, as I am just going both feet forward, just trying to plant my feet into this creature. An arm strike.
All right, jump up and give him a kick.
Hey.
Ooh, that will definitely connect. This guy is not quite quick enough to avoid your strike. As your foot connects into his gut, you can feel this immediate wall of just tense, first like a jiggle of fat before it hits a solid muscle. As it seems like while you do a considerably firm strike, he still stands quite strong.
Next solidly, legs collapse ever so slightly to actually bring my body closer to his as I grab onto the hair of his chest for just a moment as I reach my staff around and launch it upwards, and as I do, use an item interaction to extend it to its 10-foot length and just trying to jam it up underneath his chin, trying to slam his big ol' yelping mouth shut. Ooh.
Ooh, as you see the staff extend up to his head, this heavy staff extending powerfully to strike this creature. It seems like in his raise, trying to keep himself balanced, his chin comes down and actually meets the strike, and it does not budge.
I just kick off of his stomach, landing in front of him. Interesting. Let us dance as I spin key, charging this energy through my legs, giving me a slight burst of speed, but more just to enhance my agility as I duck and dive underneath his stomping feet as he tries to get to me, as I just barely inch my way to the other side, spinning around, bringing my staff up to bear to defend myself. Let's see what you all have in store. This will be fun. As I am, putting up my patient defense, and that key, give myself the dodge action as a bonus action.
Nice. As you crash into this creature, then slip beneath him with considerable amount of deft and grace to your strikes. This ape is just immediately bringing his fist down hard to the ground. You can feel it shake beneath your feet, but fortunately your key keeps you well balanced in your steps. Almost feels like it wouldn't knock you prone at all. But this thing is just roaring out these like deft and pretty short and tacked words, just pest monkey. Ugh! As from the crowd, you can hear this great call out, ooh, and our simian stranger opens up with a death strike to the great Ozaru, but it seems he is but phased. Hopefully he can keep on his feet as this match continues. As Luna, we come down to you.
Luna just runs her hands through her hair and just looks at the strange two-legged creatures. I say, let's just test their vitality just a little bit, as I will wave my hand in the air and then flick out my wrist as I will just fire bolts that creature.
All right. Ooh, as that will come flying. This creature comes running towards you, claws curled up to its chest, running in a considerably fast pace. You think like maybe as fast as a wolf, or perhaps even faster. The bolt of flame comes flying and strikes into its head, catching onto its feathers. As it bolts across its face, it lets out this terrible little yelp as its head turns and sways, trying to put out some of the flames on its face. But it seems like it's still got some hardiness to it, although a bit slowed.
So much for me taking the south.
I put my hand on his shoulder and just say, whoop, good luck, well, as from his shoulders and his back, just these black spikes will form, as I will cast a haste on him as bonus action.
Ooh.
Oh shit, I don't know. Shit. I gotta read
As you
this
see
and figure out what it does.
spikes growing across your body, seeming to make you move faster, a bit stronger. I guess tougher, really.
I'm assuming they're just like blue spikes out the back, right? And these big red blobs just shoot out under my feet, and
Your boots turn red for some reason.
Yep. My fingering for chili dogs for some reason. Just out of nowhere.
Look, well, I believe in you, as I will move back up here, and that will be my turn.
Alrighty. As you can hear from the crowd once again, and a bolt of fire goes flying towards the Terror Claw, burning away those terrible feathers, and yet they still stride. Hopefully they don't reach her. Those claws are sharp after all. As down south of you, Tamarkan, in your defensive stance, you can hear as you seem to catch the attention of some of these creatures who will come striding towards you, getting close to this massive ape. This one reaching out, seeing you pester this large ape named Ozaru, instead looking down, trying to swing a fist at you.
Show me what you have, my little friends.
Swinging away. Hey, 15. Just swishing through the air, another fist. That's a bite, wrong creature. Let's do you.
Clawing me.
Missing. I think it's the same tech, right? +4, +5. That's fine. Doesn't matter. As two fists come swinging and missing through the air, just trying to catch at you and not doing it. As you're getting these like blips of barks in your mind, hearing this thing yell out, just saying, can't hit, too fast, cat. As these things will come trying to swarm around you, making it about here. Same deal, swinging it out wildly with his fists. Woof. And woof.
Ducking and dodging around these things. I'm bashing away their fists with my staff, but not so harshly to actually deal any real damage to them, just deflecting blow after blow. The big grin on my face as Monkey Feet just slams down next to me. I use it for a bit of cover as I'm just ducking and diving between just this flurry of attacks. Big ol' smile on my face.
As you can hear this loud grunt behind you, which you can sort of blip in your mind. A quick translation, ignore, continue attacking. As these creatures down here are starting to rush towards you, stop, sort of heads turning around, and then begin to make their way closer towards the rest of the group. This one rushing forward, fists pounding to the earth, coming straight at you, Persephone. As a pair of fists are coming swinging at you by this large, it looks like a big burly man covered in black hair, but as he opens his mouth, there's these like mob full of canines that are ready to come down as he's gonna swing two fists at you. And ooh, but just wild, flailing through the air.
Just lifts up her boule shield, just being able to have them bang against and to hold her ground.
As this other creature will come up and make it about here next to the here we are, next to the large ally. Again, try to sweep around him. Looks like he's deciding between Tamarkan and you, Persephone, until finally he just digs his hand into the ground. You can see a big old chunk of stone fill his palm, which he turns and just seems to throw it over the shoulder of his ally, coming straight at you, Persephone, as he throws a rock at you.
Oh boy.
Ooh. Goes flying right over your shoulder, bouncing off your armor, and cascading on the ground next to Quill. As this creature down here will just continue to run up here, only makes it this far, seeing Tamarkan well defended and surrounded, just again takes a big chunk of rock while it's running and tries to throw it at you, Mr. Monkey Man. Wah!
Just bash it out of the air, just scattering the rock pieces around. So they listen to you, Lantuan.
Alrighty. As you hear from the stands, and the apes make them move, but it seems the valiant vanguard is far too quick and far too tough for their fists and stones to break through their defenses. Well guarded. As from the far eastern side, you hear this terrible cry, almost like a screech, like a deepened child scream, as this horrible beast comes looming around the size of a horse covered in red scales, making its way towards the rest of the group with considerable speed, although it seems like it takes everything it can to actually reach you guys. Staying about here, as the other one comes looming around, dashing past its enemies and getting right up between you two. You can see themselves circling. Actually, makes it about here. swimming like a circle, like trying to get a good view of you guys. One of them getting close to you, Samantha, and Swift Hollow, snapping its jaws around, as if trying to keep your attention, as its head's turning to and fro like a bird. Yeah, pretty simple. Reptilian nature, as this thing seems to be snapping at you, just seems to be food. Food. Watch me. As you hear Vin calling from the stands, and the Terror Seekers move! Their speed immense, and their hunger great. Oh, and it made it to the center of the circle! The guard has been broken! Can they take down these beasts in time before they sink their claws into them? As Sotalo, looks like you're up.
Darn, you messed up my movement, Mr. Dinosaur Man.
Terror Claw.
It's gonna dash, but now you're here. Oh, you just messed up my plan. Oh, curse you.
Truly an intelligent foe with his two it.
Ah, truly a worthy hunter.
Such intention.
Such intention, such
speed.
intellect. How could he see right through me? As Swift Hollow will... I'll see how I flavor it after I hit. Swift Hollow will lash out with her short sword. With the short sword.
Alright, give me that short sword attack.
I program Elven accuracy into this. No, I'll just roll the extra d20. As Swift Hollow will... That's just a dumb
Do you have advantage
beast,
against
right?
them?
No, I don't. I don't have advantage because they already went. Oh no. Okay, well that's what. See, this is why we have. This is why we have the disengage action. It's quite handy. Oh, now I can't dash. This sucks. See, this is why we needed our reaction. I just uncanny dodge. I just uncanny dodge his attack. With Hollow Will.
Like so bad.
One move action. Nah, fuck that. I'm doing what I'm doing. She sort of leaves herself open.
Oh.
Not disengaging.
As he will try to snap at you the moment you leave yourself open. Ah! Ooh, but just snapping at the empty air as you are too quick.
Swift Hollow definitely dashes away. And she will use her cunning action to dash, sort of kicking off of this stone to redirect her velocity. She will... it's just enough movement. Curse you, apes. I also wanted to go down south because it gave me an easier target, but oh well. Hello, move. Not there, but to here. As she does have assassinate, thankfully the lines haven't gone yet.
Aha! You moving up from this guy?
Oh, which one was this?
Because if you get past that guy, he's gonna be reaching out to smack you with his long arms.
His long arm. This guy's long arms.
He's got some long arms.
Oh, he's got some big arms. It's okay. This is why we have reactions.
Okay. As he's gonna, you can see as he's trying to get down to Tamarkan, there's suddenly white blur going next to him, and a fist comes swinging down, trying to crush you, Sotalo. 23.
Ow.
Ooh, as where would you be?
Uncannily dodge. Ooh, and that even eats into my temporary hit points. As the fuck, what was it called? The orangutan, the giant orangutan. Is it just a giant, huge ape?
Uzaru.
What's his name? Uzaru.
As
Uzaru.
You make it about.
I
I think you make it
his fist. Oh.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. So you're doing your thing.
Yeah, as Uzaru brings down his giant fist, it almost catches Swift Hollow. She's able to uncannily dodge it, able to just deftly slide. Oh, I guess it's more of as she just dodge rolls forward, as that 25 becomes 12, and the 12 eats into my 15 hit points. Unscathed.
Nice. As you barely pull yourself out of the way, you feel something this fist skim you, then hit the ground hard, and both you, Swift Hollow, and Tamarkan feel the thunderous boom of this thing's fist just smashing the ground. It's just behind you where you were, Swift Hollow. You can see this massive crater just seem to appear, just ripping into the ground.
Oh, Christ. Whew. That was close. As
But there will be one extra little
assassinating-
fist coming at you. One little extra fist coming at you.
Oh no, one extra fist.
And he's
Oh,
also
God.
trying to smack you. Ah! Ooh, a 20.
Are the craters difficult terrain?
It's pretty difficult to cross to me.
Okay.
Oh,
But yeah, another
hits.
fist comes smacking at you after the crater sort of shakes you off your feet.
6 damage. Okay. Yeah, that's better. As Samantha's leadership abilities wear off on me. Ah. Man, thanks, temporary hit points. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you're right, we did need those. So Hollow does get caught slightly, but it only managed to glance off her armor, although she still sort of feels the bludgeon of it. But not really. Mostly healthy as I finally get to attack the lion.
Oh, yes, you can. You finally make it to this creature who's starting to pull himself forward, but you are quicker than him.
As... I don't know.
Ooh, as that will
Oh, no, I
connect.
didn't have sneak attack on. Whoopsie.
Oh, that's okay. Just roll me some dice, baby. Hey. Ooh. As that will connect, you bring your
As-
sword. Is it
not
poison on it?
16.
Okay. As you bring your swords down, stabbing into this creature immediately, too quick for it, it's able to try and pull itself away, but there's too much lion to move in time as it stabs into his side. You can feel the blade pierce through a big old layer of its muscle between its ribs as you rip it out. A spray of blood exits its body, but although it limps in its step, it still seems quite decently hardy.
Ones, yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Darn.
Is it?
It's okay.
Is there anything else you want to do?
Extra movement.
Have you used your bonus action for anything? For Dishy to
Yes.
dash? Okay,
I
gotcha.
dashed.
Okay.
Alright, well, we'll just use the rest of my movement. Sort of walk around it. As I'll be Swift Allison.
As you can hear a roar from the crowd, Swift Hollow, echoing from the crowd, as you come dashing past the great ape, and the Ozaru strikes at the speedy elf, but she is all but grazed by its mighty attack, and then dives in to strike at a lion. A true killer. Well done, elf, well done. As we come to Samantha, now beset by this large reptile, with the others continuing their approach towards you. What do you do?
You're an unfortunate presence. But that is a far worse one. As trying to keep her defenses up and keeping her snake sort of looking out in every direction, and making sure that she can duck, dive, and spin out of the way of anything that comes towards her, she's going to use her bonus action to call upon her serpentine aspect, buffing her defenses and keeping herself alive in this dangerous place. After doing that, she is going to pull on her scepter, drawing from it some very powerful magic. As you can see, just this large sort of green line seem to snake its way up her arm from the scepter and go up her face and over and on top of her head, forming into this sort of strange, sort of looks like kind of like a green eldritch crown. And from it, you can see just this flash of light sort of beam out across the battlefield here, almost like in a strange sort of cone, but really just focused on this large blue scaled tyrant of power. Your will is not your own, you are mine. As she releases that magic and casts some Dominate Beast on him.
Ooh. Alrighty, post me that spell card.
Power. And technically at 5th
Crossbow.
level. So it's
Nice.
a 10-minute duration.
Oh boy.
As you throw out this magic, the line just seems to strike at this creature. There is going to be some resistance as this creature is in battle with you, granting it advantage against the check. However, you can feel that this thing's mind is trying to resist you, pushing against your magic. Let's see if it can hold up. Ooh, as suddenly the magic taking over begins to shatter. This thing's eyes begin to dull over for a moment before it shakes, and it lets loose this terrible roar across the arena. that just shakes, and you can hear the crowd begin to sort of go silent for a moment as Tyrant takes hold and seems to dominate the moment, and the magic shatters.
You will rue that choice. Well,
Was that a good roll or a bad roll?
it was a bad one.
Okay, good to know.
Do what you can, Persephone. Luna, Quildor. I cannot take that thing.
I think I want to try.
As
that our turn?
when she-
As you can hear from the crowd roar out from the roar, it seems as if our Samantha has tried to claim the tyrant, but its mind had held up too strong. Unfortunate, it looks like its eyes are now set on you. Can she handle herself against the maw filled with teeth? Let's find out, everyone! As from the northern side, Samantha, you can hear the sounds of clacking claws beginning to sprint their way down towards you. As these creatures begin to run and dash, one of them making it quite quickly towards you. Yeah. Just as he runs, you can see him moving quite quickly, almost like a horse, before suddenly, with a great bound, throwing himself at the last few feet. Before hitting the ground, claws aimed out towards you, trying to catch onto your body. Hiya! 22.
That will connect. She'll
As the claws-
healing from the snap of the magic from Tyrant, my defenses open just enough.
As the claws seem to just catch onto your body, doing 4 damage, not really enough to hinder you, but suddenly the weight of this thing drags and pulls you, as I'm gonna need for you to make a strength saving throw, as this thing is trying to pounce you. Ooh, but still struggling. How do you keep yourself level with this little creature about your size holding on to you like a child creeping onto your body?
That's kobolds, right?
Yeah, I'm sort of used to being mobbed by my weird sort of stepchildren and their clinginess at times. And with a bit of inspiration coursing through myself, my blood is undrawn. I just need to exert a bit of energy and get from underneath this thing. And feeling it try to put its weight on me, I just draw a little bit on my own just willpower and just try to force it back with just a little bit of very simple, basic magic, but not quite casting a spell.
Enough to push it away.
Yeah.
Nice.
Little eldritch empowerment.
Yeah, a little eldritch defense. As this thing gets pushed away, you can feel the claws immediately pull against your body as he's going to go for another claw strike. 9. This one not doing it. Pushed away too far. But as it lands on its feet, not quite knocked off its own yet, it leans forward for one sort of snake-like snap with its jaws. Going for a bite. Ooh, but not doing it. Too quick now, high on your defenses, as these creatures are all making their way towards you guys. One of them seems to be moving quite quickly, trying to get between you and Luna. Just heading... Getting close. The others moving equally fast, although this time aiming down here, trying to sprint their way as fast as they can towards you, Quildor. But it's about as far as they can make it with their speed. This is them just trying to get in front and around you. As you can hear Vin call out from the crowd, and the beast strikes, drawing first blood, it seems, from our from our snake woman. But it seems more these beasts are filling the circle. The defense is falling apart, and Tyrant still stands. They will have mere moments before the beast will fall upon them. What will you do, valiant Vanguard? As on your side of the map, Swift Hollow, the lions that you stabbed into begin to reel back. One of them looking up towards you with its teeth basically drawn back, its claws held forward, and then leaping and trying to just shove its claws into your body. It's trying to push you down with them. Actually, there we are. Ha. Right with him. Cool. No, there you go. Cool.
I'm getting pressed.
Just stabbing claws into your body.
Ah, no, my body.
As these claws dig into your sides and rip down.
Breastplate.
Seem to strangely rip through the breastplate without actually harming it, dealing 9 damage as this line begins to sort of circle back and around. You can hear it growling beneath in the depths of its throat before throwing itself forward and trying to pounce on top of you with what looks to be advantage, using the strike of that last creature to open you up. As he will try to claw you with advantage. 21. As the claws catch into your shoulder and bear down. You feel the weight of this thing trying to pull you to the ground as it is trying, in fact, to pounce you.
Oh no.
I'm gonna need a strength saving throw, DC 13.
Swift Hollow will actually. Let's see if I actually make this. Why? -1. No.
As the weight pulls against you and pushes you down as you are forced to the ground, Swift Hollow knocked prone. And as you are, you can hear this low growl approaching closer and closer as this thing's body weight just seems to press down upon you as it tries to bite you with advantage.
Nice.
Ooh, and as the teeth sink into you, they stab and they lock, Swift Hollow. This creature bites into you like a predator, and as it does, it pins you as you are left grappled on the ground.
As Swift Hollow, as it tries to bite out, Swift Hollow's quick enough to sort of interpose the sword in between its teeth, although it takes a bit of her stamina, she will uncannily dodge it. Taking just a bit of her stamina. She takes 5 damage.
You did use it on your last turn, unfortunately. Use it. You get your reaction
back.
You get it on the beginning of your next turn.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, it's when you shield on your turn, you lose the best grade. Yeah.
Okay, you got me there.
As this thing's body
this isn't Pathfinder.
as this thing's body is preyed down on top of you, it seems like the lions are surrounding their prey. As you can hear Vin call out from the crowds, "Oh dear! It seems as if the elf has been taken by the lions, pinned to the earth and soon to be prey by their jaws. Can the valiant vanguards come quick enough to save them? Or perhaps they shall lose their ally."
So, Hollow, what the fuck?
As you can then hear the thunderous pounding and roar of this great beast who lifts up his fists and begins to, after apparently swinging out and striking at Swift Hollow and trying to capture Tamar Khan, seems quite peeved. He lets out a terrible roar across the arena and turns himself down to face you, Tamar Khan, as he's going to try and bring 2 fists down on top of you, although both of them seem to be at disadvantage. You are quite quick on your feet. Wah! What is that, a 23?
It's a 23 as he comes swinging down, almost about to connect as it just clips onto the shoulder pad, as it seems like my entire body just twists at the last second as I just twist in midair, taking a spin as the fist just clambers into the ground, does not...
As the fist seems to just barely miss you, my friend, but just next to your body, poof, one of these craters seems to fill the earth as another fist is coming down, striking right next to you. Trying to catch up on that difference of the distance. Wah! Ooh, but still not doing it. Again, poof, the ground shattering beneath the other side of you, seeming to fill this area with some hard-to-move-through terrain.
Second strike being not even as close as the first, not needing to take as much of my effort to dodge. I actually just sidestep ever so slightly, taking my staff and just jamming it into the arm that slams into the ground next to me, as I'm going to take the opportunity to strike back using a key to try to strike him as a reaction. So I got my agile.
All right, give me that strike.
Well,
Ooh, a 12 will just barely connect against him as that staff finally catches a point when he raises and moves his arms, exposing some of his softer body. As that will, ooh, 12 damage, nice. Poof, catching it to his side, you see him reel up for a little bit, but then immediately push back against the pain and continue his onslaught towards you. As he does, you hear him like begin to size up, and his voice begins to bellow, and then once again lets out this loud and horrible yell that you can actually understand, Tamar Khan. It's a loud and horrible command as he yells out, "Seek and strike," as he will invoke his Lead the Pack.
Oh shit!
As these 2 apes next to you, Tamar Khan, well, nowhere else to move, will continue to try and strike out at you, although they'll only get 1 attack. Both a disadvantage.
there's the large one, come as the apes! As I spin to try to deflect these things, blocking one fist out of the way, and the other one not even close, thanks to my the key in my legs, making me dance around these things with lightning speed. Not even
Just spinning around, deflecting all sorts of blows, those that shake the ground and those that simply try to come from the side. Well done, as you could hear Vin call out, "And you hear the terrible roar! The apes are on the move, and yet the simian challenger remains untouched! The ape cannot hit him! He cannot knock him off his feet! Well done, Valiant Vanguard! Well done! As the crowd just goes nuts seeing you spin around and dance with these guys.
Him cheating. He's the one that attacked me 2 more times.
I realized I was muted. To Luna, I'm fine. It's all part of the act.
As Quillor comes down to you, now surrounded by these quick creatures and this large beast. Samantha tried to throw magic at it, but it seems to have deflected it.
Indeed, as... Where are you on my sheet? There you are. As Quildor just takes his sword, as he steps back, as it just digs into it, like gravel, sand, right? Is that kind of what the ground is?
It's like hard stone, but it's like loose like sand at some points, yeah.
As the sword goes in, as a large, just kind of wall of dust comes flying up all around him, as he just shouts out, "The line is here!" As I go into my front line stance, as I will swing out at these creatures, the one right above me.
All right. Give me them tags, baby.
You could move like the line.
Ooh, that'll connect.
That'd be great.
Slicing into his body. As you can see him cut into his form. Cutting quite deep through its scaly form. These things are not as tough as the dragon
Strike
creatures you
out
fought
at him
before.
again.
Oh, this time you see it reels back in pain as the blade swings through the air, just barely avoiding him by luck.
As I will strike out again.
Ooh, as that strike will connect and cut down to his body. As this time it starts to step with a limp into its form as it pulls itself back up, now clearly wounded on death's door, but still alive.
As I will shift between them.
All right.
As that will be my turn.
Okay, and from down here, you can hear, actually, first you hear Vin Catali call out, "Do not step across the line! That is the challenge of our elf knight! But can he uphold this oath of his? Can he keep the beaks back away from his friends? Let's see!" As from the deep south, you see more of these clattering creatures making their way as quick as they can towards you, one of them rushing up right up into you, Kuldor.
As he rushes up, I will strike at him.
Ooh, as that will connect, stabbing into his body. Ah! As the sword cuts into his form, doing 10 damage, but you see him land on the ground. But as he does sort of catches up the sword, his claws do eventually come down, as he's going to try and claw you, baby. Yeah. Ooh, 17, not even close. How do you defend this
tries
thing?
to claw down. The claws just get into the sword as the sword just cuts deeper into them, even taking off one of the little toes.
My little toe. As it starts to claw, you see, almost in frantic and in pain, it starts to flail out wildly. Its claws trying to claw through your armor with another strike. 5. This time just flailing wildly until finally it tries to reach through up towards the less armored part of your body for a bite. Ah, ooh. Although it seems
as it comes to bite, the shield just comes up and smacks it as the teeth kind of buff it away. But if it meets my AC, it does hit, right?
Yes. It's also a
Yes.
crit.
Well, the shield stops the crit.
Turns it into a normal strike.
Yep, as only one of the teeth is able to just scrape me just ever so slightly. Take 5 damage off my temporary hit points.
Still basically unscathed. As this creature here will make its way up and around, stepping up towards you on this side, Quildor.
As I will strike down at him.
Strike down at him. Ooh, another well-placed strike, cutting into his side, blood spraying from his scaled body. As it sprays across the ground, he hits the earth considerably hard, but still around his stride, turning around. Let's see. Nah, I can't do that. As he's gonna try and claw at you, still in pain. 2 claws and a bite. Yeah, 1 claw. Scattering across your armor. 1 claw. Ah! Breaking across your armor, still in pain. 1 bite. Ah! Ooh, 20,
as the
but
bite
still
comes
enough.
down, as the bite comes down, I'll just take the pommel of my sword up, just catch him right underneath the jaw, just collapsing his jaw quickly.
As these 2 creatures down here, one of them bolted with flame, just makes a dead charge up towards you, Luna. Ah! Tries to run and jump and claw at you. 10. How do you dodge it?
As I just see it flying towards me, I'm just going to hold my hand out and then just backhand it away.
As its head just tilts around. You ever see how a bird's head moves? Just sort of flops around loosely. His head sort of does the same thing, but another claw comes swinging up at you. Ooh, 12, still not quite making it, until finally the head swings back around in that full rotation, and it goes in for a bite. Ash! Ooh, just snapping at the air, unable to reach you. And this creature here just continues to sprint, going as fast as he can, trying to go for Luna, then seeing this girl pushing off with her shield against this ape and going right between you guys. That's about as far as he can go. And you can hear Vin call up from the arena rooftops. Again, the Terror Claws make their move, now completely surrounding the central Valiant Vanguard. And it seems they're drawing blood, if only slightly. Let's see if those defenses can hold once the great tyrant makes his stride. As from the northern side, you can see these beasts beginning to make their way down towards the closest creatures they can see. Some of them sprinting. Actually, we'll do this. These in the back sprinting down here, making it about here. But once they get to this ground tower, Marcon, you can see them struggling to get closer. Just barely. Yeah, they can't make that. Just barely getting like a little bit closer, just outside of reach. So instead, seeing you just being surrounded, he reaches up his hand and just takes one of the loose stones on the ground and just hooks it at you. Hook it with that's wrong. Disadvantage. Go back to where you were.
So he picks up a rock and is about to throw it. Tunk! I just knock it right the fuck out of his hand with the extended reach of my staff. Oh, no, I do not think so.
Another one of these beasts. Ooh, this guy actually can't. There's too much stuff in the way. Makes it out here as well, and also tries to throw a rock as well. Just more rocks just flying, missing Mr. Monkey Man. As up,
out of the way.
Still following the order of seem to be their commander, these creatures begin to make their way down towards the rest of the group. Let's see. Ooh, as they get close here, those in the center, and I guess kind of Tamarcon, you're kind of surrounded by a shit ton of monkeys. You can see as these creatures approach, the one that's the large beast that's standing in front of Samantha immediately turns its head and hisses at the apes who are approaching, who then begin to pound their chest, sort of like confronting each other for a moment before then turning their senses back toward you guys. As down here, you can see them reaching to the ground, taking loose stones, and just hucking them. One coming down at Samantha, who you're going to have half cover, one coming down at Persephone, and one coming down at Luna. With, I guess, yeah, you're fine. So, Samantha with half cover. 9. Just bouncing off the back of this lizard who turns around and hisses at him. One coming down at Persephone. 19. A rock coming flying down from the northeast. Just pegging you in the shoulder. As the one in the far back throwing his rock at you, Luna. 20.
I love the monkey noises.
Flying through the air, trying to strike into you, Luna. Does that hit? 20?
20 as it seems to get really close before this large black spike starts to shoot up from her body in between them as I will shield.
Knocking away the rock and clattering it across the ground. Nice. As Vin calls out from the crowd, and the other mapes make their move! It seems they're almost found a new enemy. But no, the Valiant Vanguard remain their foes. But for how long? It seems they are far outnumbered, but are they outmatched? We shall see. As Persephone, it finally comes to you. What do you want to do, girl?
Oh god, we're getting surrounded very fast, but I hear that Samantha failed in her plan, and I think, okay, sure, why not? As I'm holding up my shield to try to protect myself from the onslaught of attacks from these apes, I point over to the tyrant with my crystal focus, and I try to cast Dominate Beast upon him because he's just within range.
Hey.
All right.
Oh
What does
boy,
it look like when you
go time.
What does it look like when you
Fake,
cast
fake.
when you cast Dominate Beast?
The flowers upon my arm begin to start to glow a little bit, and that's the most visual that will happen as this almost magical lulling tone is going to be heard around the tyrant as she's going to try to charm him. I guess it's
All right.
charming. Yeah.
As he's got to make a wisdom saving throw. Let's see if he'll make or break this one.
We're going to be best friends.
As you see this thing, eyes fill up with light for a moment. As its mouth begins to open, let out a terrible roar, it catches, and then suddenly its tongue just sort of flops out the side of his mouth. As he seems like he's quite docile.
As I look to the... I
and I slam a fey door in front of his face as I use my hidden path to boink over in front of the tyrant. And as
Please
I
pet him. Pet the massive doggo.
I reach up my hand to pet his big face, and I want to try to climb on his back.
I just want to see him lick you, but he licks you so much that he just lifts you up off the ground and then flips you on his back.
As you reach up towards this large beast, it sort of hesitates for a moment before its head just sort of lures down. It almost seems like it takes a moment for you to realize you're using your magic, probably the first time, that you're actually sort of guiding it. Its movements are kind of its own, but it takes that sort of telepathic unconsciousness to sort of guide him. The head lowers down to press its nostrils against your palm. As, yeah, you're putting your hand up against this clearly like almost like 20-foot tall beast. As, yeah, you want to ride the tyrant?
Yes, I want to ride the tyrant!
All right, you can spend half your movement to mount the tyrant.
Is it half my movement or all my movement? Because
It takes half your movement to mount this thing. As you begin to climb up, hand over foot, you can see Persephone riding on the back of this T-Rex, whose mouth opens up again, tongue hanging out.
Oh my god.
As you can hear in the back of your mind over and over, Persephone sort of pulse like a thought over and over, like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Tell your friends to leave my friends alone.
All right.
As I'm hoping he's just gonna roar and just make all of the other scaly boys leave.
All right. Anything else you want to do, Persephone?
Okay, with the apes.
No, I'm just going to sit there and revel in this moment.
Okay. As you can hear from the everywhere at this point, all of the stands just roar with this cheering and excitement as Vin calls out, I can't believe it! The little elf girl has tamed the great tyrant! She rides him like a horse! What is happening?
Fucking do your fucking princess parade wave.
What is this shit?
As Tyrant's turn comes around, let's see. Let's see. Okay, cool. As this creature at your command curls itself up and lets out this horrible, horrible roar. As it ripples all throughout your body, it feels like the air is just shaking from the weight of it, and it feels like a loud roar, a terrible call from this great titan horde beast. But I guess the only person who would really feel differently from it would be maybe you, Samantha. As it almost feels like for a moment your blood just sort of begins to boil. As the creatures around you as the beasts start to scream and claw out in the air wildly, as to the best of his ability, trying to command these creatures, but unfortunately unable to quite do so, Tyrant riles the horde, causing all the Titan hordes in this area, at least those who can hear him within range, so basically all of them, yeah, to suddenly become enraged. But the beast still has its movements and actions if you wish to command it, Persephone.
Yeah, I wanted to try to let me show my ruler. I want him to go around the circle and try to charge into the fucking apes.
Alrighty, as you can doof, its steps are quite heavy and labored. You think he's only gonna make it about here without taking a dash action?
Can he reach? Can he reach with his...
He's got a long-ass head, girl.
Yeah. Fuck up an ape. Eat a monkey.
Alright, turns towards this beast down here, I'm assuming?
Yes.
This one besetting itself against Samantha. You can see its scales sort of flaring, some feathers on the back of its arms beginning to rise, and this thing's head turns around immediately. Oh. It's like a monkey or a dinosaur? Okay, cool. Monkey. As this monkey picks up another rock, getting ready to throw it, a large mouth comes chomping down on top of him. As you see the mouth go into the ground, chomp up a big mouthful of the earth, and he just gets destroyed.
There's no more monkey.
He's just
Hold on, let me
gone.
just. I gotta make sure.
Please
Can I-
eat the monkey. Eat the
Okay,
monkey.
dude.
Versus
Okay,
it's
cool.
holding
As you
on.
see, the mouth goes down, takes up a big chunk of the earth, and just he's just gone. Although it is kind of like a crater. Boop.
Feel
Nope,
free
nah, you get
to
back.
kick the one in front of me.
As this mouth begins to chew on the earth, you can see it turn its head towards the next ape, and as it does, its body just turns. And you find behind him, winding like almost like about 10 feet long in length, is this massive tail, which just sort of like almost just unintentionally collides into the side of this creature, or tries to, as he takes a tail attack. Ooh, a 23 will definitely connect as it crashes into its body. Ooh, nice. Almost taking away the entirety of this thing's health as you see it crash into his side, knock him to the ground for a moment before he pushes himself back up, and the creature turns its head and snaps angrily towards Tyrant.
Good Tyrant.
It's still there.
I pat his head.
As it opens his mouth, lets out a terrible roar.
This is the best.
He's so cuddly.
And Tyrant has made his move, biting not only the apes that beset the valiant vanguard, but even striking at his own kind. This is unprecedented! As we come down to Temerkhan, you can hear this terrible roar and the thumping of steps, but it looks like Persephone's got something under control. What do you do in your middle of your dodging circle full of creatures?
Hold on, hold on. As I'm going to shoot a bit
off
more
me.
ki into my legs, as taking the dodge action as I jumping off one of the arms of this thing that I just slam my staff into, as I take a good old flip and just bring my feet down into the face of this monkey behind me, making it an arm strike against it.
Nice.
Ooh, 29
As that will connect.
It's crunching into its face for 11 damage.
Punching into its face, or actually, crashing down to its face. You can feel like its sort of leathery skin immediately cave in beneath the weight of your blow, as it seems like it gets knocked almost off its feet, and it puts its hands up to defend itself as best it can, but it is definitely wounded.
How tall are these guys? They're about 5 feet tall?
These guys are about 4 feet tall. Again, they're like stout and wide.
Perfect. I got enough jump to just make it over him as I just slam into his head. I just continue sort of that advance as I use his face and shoulder to launch myself backwards away from big ol' ape man as I bring up my staff to defend myself, for I'm sure the big ol' fist coming in my direction.
Yeah, just barely, as this thing sees you're leaving this thing. Pull yourself out of the difficult terrain and dragging yourself in this area. This fist comes swinging out, trying to break you in the middle of this stride. I'm assuming you're not dodging anymore?
I am.
Oh, nice.
Got all my defenses in place.
Yeah. Ooh,
And
just
not
smashing
enough.
down to the
Bring
ground.
my bar up. I just block the fist. Just use it to propel myself even more in the direction I was going.
Oh, this boy down here will
midair.
also try to punch you. Actually, no, yeah, he'll try to.
This guy can't because he tried to punch the fellow. This guy can though.
And this guy, I'm saying this guy down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna try and just smack at you as you go up and over. Disadvantage? That's not what I want. There we go. Ah.
Yeah, not even close. I basically just ignore him. As I'm propelled backwards from this blow, I just spin in the air, and with my staff at a 10-foot length, it just comes out spinning and striking one at the lion over here, and one swing back to the guy that I just propelled myself off of, swinging, with 2 hands. Why not? Swing down the lion first.
All right, so going after which lion?
Injured lion.
Alright, smacking
I
at
was
him.
gonna-
That will definitely
okay,
connect.
whatever.
You would have a little bit of cover because of Swift Hollow, but it doesn't matter. Your staff is long able to reach out and whack him.
Wait, is it this one that's on her?
Yeah, this one's on top of Swift Hollow. This one's got its claws and teeth sunk into it. Like, rah.
Never mind.
Brendan.
I don't go as
I had
far.
I
Go for
wanted
what
to
is on
use
her.
things.
There you go.
How
That will still connect, whacking him in the head. You can see it sort of get dazed and shake itself, but it still seems to be holding on. Unless you're gonna...
Yeah, if it's the one that's on her, yeah, it's a bit of key. As I'm trying to test the strength of the iron bar, and yeah, I will send a bit more key shooting down the length of the bar into this thing's hide, trying to knock it silly. See if I can free up Swift Hollow.
Alright. Ooh, 17. This thing shakes the blow away. It seems like it was just barely cushioned by its mane, and the key sort of just was delivered with the blow, not quite able to shake it up enough.
The iron bar swings back around, slamming into this other. Well,
as this thing reeled back in its attack, just barely out of the range into your bar until you pull back with that second strike and just barely connect with them.
Hey, there we go.
Ooh, how do you want to kill this thing?
It just bashes up the side of its head. Remember in the back of my mind, oh, that's not as handy as I was expecting. I slam on into the ground, bring my bar back around. You get over it, you silly cunt. As that is my turn. Take up my defensive position.
How high are the
Alrighty.
pillars?
They're 40 feet tall.
40 feet tall. Okay.
As you hear the call over the crowd, Vin basically announcing, and he moves away from the great ape to save his friend. How valiant of this simian challenger! But now it seems he's having trouble prying those teeth from the elf. Can he do it in time before they find a snack? Or perhaps the elf has a means of escaping. Keep watching! As Luna come down to you. Surrounded by these creatures now turning their heads up towards you, ready to bite. What do you do?
I'm going to turn to Samantha and say, this is fun-ish. Kind of not really. As I'm going to grab the snouts of these two creatures below me, as both of my hands will start turning black, and the blackness will seep into their skin as I will twin cast some inflict wounds on both of them.
Ooh, at what level?
At first level.
Nice. Reach out and try to touch him. Ooh, as one will connect. Ooh, as the other will connect. As first one on the left being grabbed, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yes. As your hands reach out and catch on these creatures, the one to the right seems to twist and shake his face quite quickly, so some of this necrotic energy doesn't spread as far, but it does take a hearty toll on his body as he seems barely still on his feet, as the other takes a hearty hold on him as you hold longer and longer. Its movements become weaker and weaker until finally it pries itself free, although it is still also pretty badly damaged. Some of the scales have just fallen and rotten off its face as it snaps at you wildly.
As I will look down towards this dinosaur down here, and just call out to no one in particular, actually distract him real quick, as from behind him, his shadow will pull up as I will summon my hound behind him.
All right. Drag that hat. Oh, there he is. And he gets his own initiative, right? Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Nice. As for behind him, the shadow seems to pool. This is up on the stands, unfortunately. So this is basically like the wall. There you go, like that. As the ground rises up and this basically sort of spectral, shadowy night seems to pull itself from the ether and square off against this beast.
Is that only my turn?
All right, you can hear from the crowd. Look, seems as if the alluring shadow among this group has drained the life of these creatures, the life we had just placed into bringing them back to life. Quite confounding, this magic. I don't understand it myself, but it's quite entertaining to watch. So what he got here? Ooh, ape time. All right. As Tamar Khan, you can hear it behind you, this frustrating yelp of these creatures just trying to get to you, but not quite seeming able to, until you hear a bark from the great ape from behind you. As it seems like it just says, stop, stop, stop him. As this creature comes up behind you, and its hands, both of them, come swinging out at you, not to strike you, but instead to grab onto your tail, as they're going to try and grapple you.
Oh, I wanted to see him choke him.
Oh, rolling a 7.
I I hope with my advantage and plus 13 acrobatics, I'll have a
We'll have to see about that.
They're not gonna grab my fucking tail! I can't even catch my own tail.
As the attack's gonna try and grab one more time. Ooh, 21.
Ooh.
Got close.
Still just getting closer and closer as these apes begin to make their move towards you. This one
With disadvantage, he wins.
Yeah. As these creatures are getting close, you can see Swift Hollow, this heavy humanoid-like creature stepping next to you, but it seems to be ignoring you for now. Instead, its hands are coming out towards you, Tamarcon, all of them trying to grab you.
Ah, thanks, Tamarcon. This is what I needed you for.
Ooh,
22.
big advantage. You can feel it for a moment. These hands grasp onto your tail, but a quick flick pulls it right out as you go for one more.
You'll have to try harder than that to catch the monkey thief.
Ooh,
Not today.
just slipping and sliding, unable to be grabbed. Well done, Tamarcon. As last ape has no real way to get here, stepping up close. Actually, did you do that? No, he's going after... His prey ran away. What's he doing? I guess he's going back for the monkey man. Coming back here, making only about here in distance. As he just takes another loose stone from the ground and just chucks it at you, Tamarcon. Still disadvantage, but trying to whack you. Ooh, flying right over your head. Nice. All right. As you can hear Finn call out, again the apes tried to contend with this simian challenger, but he is far too quick, still unscathed. As, let's see,
Wait,
Ooh, is
man,
it the thing?
did you-
Okay.
When did you forget about that monkey?
Oh yeah, he's right here, thank you, man. As this monkey's prey ran away. So he's gonna go for the closest thing. You see him start to step closer towards you, Luna, but instead he sees these beasts being touched and magic drained from them and wildly calling out and slashing at the air. Instead he begins to sort of circle his way up, looking for an opening, and then just takes a rock, seeing some of these creatures still throwing rocks at you. Takes one, just throws it at you, Luna. Just trying to hook a rock at you. 18. Does that connect?
Sure, I'll allow it.
Chip. Rock hits you in the side of the shoulder.
Thankfully, you got some temporary HP.
And he has to pull himself back, seeing some of these beasts getting riled, bring himself closer to his king. As to the north, you can see next to you, Samantha, this large beast got battered by a tail. And as his jaws were turning towards you and this crazed look in his eye, instead, they turn up towards the great tyrant that Persephone is riding. As he's gonna look up and try to bite at him, seemingly with a bit of advantage. Ouch! Teeth, ooh, sinking into Tyrant's leg. You can see the teeth sink and rip and tear.
Oh, no.
Ooh, doing considerable amount of damage. 28, nice. As that will, ooh, leave him at that, nice. As he bites rips, you can hear Tyrant call out in pain, and as he does, well, make himself a little bit of a saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Tyrant!
Hey!
As you can feel your magic beginning strained for a moment, but then it settles as Tyrant lets out this defiant roar and turns his head down towards this, I guess, betrayer, although he was the first one to beat this guy.
I gently pet Tyrant's head and just cool him like a injured dog. It's gonna be okay. You're okay.
Does he get advantage on the later saves too?
He certainly does, as a king of the Titan Horde.
Wow.
As this creature next to was about to looks like Luna. Looks like the southern beast was about to charge towards the group, lining itself up like a prey, eyeballing or a predator eyeballing its prey. Instead, this creature suddenly appears next to it, and it snaps almost in a combination of fear and confusion as this entity just comes out of nowhere. And on instinct, it's going to turn and try to bite him with a bit of advantage. Chomp. 23. Oh, that's not right. Wrong bite. Wrong bite. You go back in the circle. We'll go you bot. 15. Ooh. Just barely defends against it. How does the hound stop this thing from biting and ripping into him?
As the teeth seem to come towards him, he will just kind of hold out his hand and just punch into his mouth before he can actually fully close it. Just kind of go down his throat a little bit as he starts gagging.
Spits it out as saliva covers his shadowy arm before just dissolving away as it begins to stalk and circle his new prey. As Finn calls out from the crowd, "Incredible! It seems these hunters have had their prey switched around. New quarries to strike. Although now they challenge the king himself. How will this end for these beasts?" As we will come down to use Swift Hollow, still pinned underneath the lion, who Temercon is beating with a staff, but now also surrounded by apes. What do you do?
Cruel to Mycon. I could have seen the headline now. A lone she-elf as she defiantly takes down 2 lions by herself. Oh.
Sorry. I thought I was having enough, buddy.
Swift Hollow, as she's like musing this to you, as she's talking, she's not using telepathy, as she's musing this to you, you see Swift Hollow sort of slowly move her body, and then in one deft motion, he has me by the claws or the jaws.
His jaws are he's basically on top of you, grappling with his teeth, and his weight is on top of you. So basically, you're grappled by his jaws, and his weight just keeping you prone.
800 pounds of lion
As you
on
see
top of
Swift
you.
Hollow sort of sneakily, as she's using her short sword hand, as she sort of tosses or drops the short sword. And she's like musing this to you as she sort of starts rocking a little bit, and then one deft motion, you see her use her empty hand to bop it just where the jaw connects. As Swift Hollow is quite proficient, although she's never been caught by a lion. Swift Hollow is in fact an escape artist. As a cunning action, I have advantage to escape grapples, as I will use my cunning action to escape his grapple. Acrobatics
Alright, give me that.
right?
Yes, sir.
Hey.
16.
Ooh,
Hey,
as that will
Swift
do
Hollow
it.
is able to, in one death motion, bop him in the jaw. You get to unleash as she sort of rolls out. It would have been nice. As using that same disarmed hand, as she sort of flicks her wrist and going for a sneaky underhanded attack against this line. She
Assuming after
activates
getting
as an
the-
item interaction her quick palm.
Getting up on your feet, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Quickly jumping up as she
Oh, yeah.
sneakily underhandedly activates her quick palm as a item interaction, and as her full action stabs out at him. And I do have advantage
Nice.
because I'm pretty sure he wasn't aware I had a hidden blade.
Oh, yeah. Don't think the lion knows that you have a specially created hidden blade of silver within your sleeve that, when pulled out at a moment's notice and displayed to a creature who didn't realize it was there, grants him just enough a bit of a surprise to grant Swift Hollow advantage on that attack.
I
give me
had
that
all the tools.
Yeah.
It was going to be great. I knew the line. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
I finally have a chance to use these things as get those snapped.
Ooh,
There you go.
26.
Holy shit. All right, as that will definitely connect. How do you want to kill this thing?
Yeah, as Swift Hollow is musing to Mycon, as she definitely and swiftly, in a moment of peril, kills one of the lions in a reversal no one has ever seen. And she's like looking at you, and then she immediately snaps her attention as in one death motion, a flash of silver, a flash of her hand as this lion, who was once roaring, I guess sort of injured from her short sword, is now sort of having in its death throes as it lies dead. That would have been fun to Mycon. Tut tut.
Well, there is still much to go.
So it seems. As I do have 40 feet of movement.
But you did stand up, so you got 20 left.
And I do have 20, and unfortunately, these pillars are 40 feet tall, and I'm out of actions.
Right.
To dash. And moving away from the lion seems like a bad idea, since he has a pounce ability.
What do you want to do, Swift Hollow?
I think I'll stay right here. I think
Okay.
that is the best course of action, it seems. So he wants to try to back up and pounce at me. I'll get a swipe at him.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know. As the crowd immediately goes wild, Swift Hollow, as you tumble your way out of this creature's grasp and then strike at another as Vin calls out, "And beyond my belief, in one moment, the elf who is pinned beneath the great predator flips from its jaws and becomes a predator herself. Amazing! Simply amazing! As the apes to the north begin to make their move, this time, again, you following the structure of their order, trying to grab onto you, Tamargon. 2 hands trying to grab at you. Ah! Ooh, nice. Another hand. Ah! Ooh, can't possibly fail that one. Not able to grab onto you. Just a bunch of monkey hands trying to grab at your body, but unable to do so. The other sort of taking a step back here, trying to find a good place to begin his assault before taking a rock and just hucking it down towards you, Tamargon. Ooh, 19.
Out of the air.
Deflecting it away. As these apes here will continue their approach, they see an ally has joined in their striking and instead begin to take their own stones up and I guess throw them in a moment before suddenly the ground rips up before them and it looks like Tyrant has eaten one of their allies in one fell swoop. So they're going to move away. They're going to do a quick jaunt. They're going to do a quick bye-bye as they begin to circle away from the bad guys. As again, they're going to be throwing rocks. One coming at you, Luna, although it's going to be with some cover. One coming at you, Samantha, without cover. So Luna with cover. 16, not even close. Bouncing off the back of this creature. Other one coming at you, Samantha. 9, not even close. Right past your head.
And my snake's just like part out of the way as it just zooms through.
Oh, it seems that the apes have grown weary of the new enemy. No one wants to stand before the tyrant. No one's smart enough, or perhaps foolish enough, who could. As Samantha comes back to you, you see Persephone rounding the corner on top of this great lizard, but you're still surrounded by all these frenzied beasts. What do you do?
I need to get myself a nicer one of these. How far is this guy? As Samantha has in her one hand her scepter, other hand free, sort of moves it to her back, contemplating something for a moment, grabbing a hold of something she's almost never used as she considers her choice of action. But she is going to Yeah, I think she might use that, actually. She's going to call on a bit of her own eldritch power, channeling her toxicity and poison through her upper body, glowing green, this crowd, and disappearing, and just sort of almost forming this sort of cobra-like mask around her face, from which there are just 2 or 4 large crackling fangs at the front of which she is going to call on a little pact magic and cast Serpent's Bite at 5th level, reaching back behind her cape and grabbing a hold of an old souvenir and equipping a whip in her offhand. And leaning forward at this horrid little red guy in front of her, she is going to bite out at him, calling forth her snakes to join in, along with that mask, as a melee spell attack.
With advantage. They are frenzied as shit.
Give me a second. I've almost never used this, so I have to find it in my list here.
Yeah.
There it is, Serpent's Bite. At 5th level.
Chippity chomp.
Nom nom nom.
Ooh, as 20 will definitely connect. Let's see. So upcast, that's a total of 7. Ooh, nice. Holy shit. As you bite into this creature, these fangs sinking through its flesh.
Joining in.
As these tiny snakes join in the bite fight. This creature gets immediately sickened by the strike, as he's got to make a con save with some disadvantage. Because someone's got some good poison.
Indeed.
Yeah. Ooh, unable to stand up against it, the body immediately becomes weakened. It almost falls to its, not really knees, more to its belly, but it's able to keep its body up, if only hanging, as it is definitely sickened.
And and seeing this thing in front of her, just like sort of swaying back and forth, daring to still be alive, she just lets her sort of her arm sort of go loose for a moment, and then as a bonus action, whoosh, whips out at it.
Give me that whip with advantage. Ooh, that'll definitely connect. Ooh, as how do you want to kill this thing?
You're seeing it sway back and forth and sort of like maybe lull its head back, reeling from the blow. She sees just that vulnerable point and just whoosh, lashes the whip right across its neck, splitting it open. Not cutting its head off, obviously, it's a whip, but just breaking all those arteries.
You can see the sun like rip into its flesh as it tries to keep itself level, hits the ground, starts sort of writhing on the ground, not having the strength to stand up or even call out before it eventually just bleeds out on the ground.
All right, who's next? That's it for me.
All right, as this creature falls, these creatures around you, Samantha, will sort of take its place, just trying to get some blood. You can hear them calling out, "Ah! Ah!" in anger and fury, as it seems like they are going in a frenzy, as you're going to have a number of attacks coming at you with some advantage. Got a claw. 23. Slashing into your side.
23 will definitely hit. I am going to, as it's coming in, my snake's already in a biting mood, is going to, as a reaction, whoosh, bite out at this one, trying to slow its movements, impede its progress, give it a little disadvantage on its future attacks.
Oh yeah,
So
gotta make that con
crown
save.
of lashing snakes.
Yeah. Ooh,
Fox.
hardy, but not hardy enough. I guess it would be disadvantaged, so it doesn't matter. As it would be, immediately as it does, its body sort of shakes and shivers as it almost goes into toxic shock. Still cutting out wildly towards you, but with a little slowness to its strikes. Now striking normally. Another claw coming at you. 11, just through the air, missing. And its jaws try to reach down and bite at your feet, but not quite able to reach.
Just barely able to get
As
out
it
of
is
that bite
languid.
attack. It just like snaps closed in front of her.
Good thing he was a sick boy. As down south of you, a creature coming up from your flank, trying to bite you as well, Samantha. Got the same thing. Claws and teeth coming with some advantage. Ah! 16. Woof. Barely able to avoid it. Another claw. Woof. Ooh, another one
can't
sliding up
avoid that
at you at the
one.
side. And then a
That
teeth
one's-
coming in from behind. Ooh, a crit, although a tiny crit, bites harshly down at one of the lashing snakes on your head. You can feel the pain as the teeth sink deep into the flesh and then let go.
Yeah, all my snakes try to lash out at it, but they're just slightly too slow. As,
You need
let's see
3
here.
cons.
Yeah. -8 and 5. As I'm out of temporary HP. Ooh.
Oof.
Ooh, as that magic fades away, the teeth ripping across your body and tearing away the magic. As Quildor, from behind you and below you, these two creatures are coming at you with some advantage to their teeth and their claws. Get your claws coming down here first, advantage. Yeah, 12, scraping across your armor. Yeah, ooh, double crit. As the claws come reaching up, trying to get through your shield.
Oh, I already used my shield this round.
Oh, that's right. As they catch up to your side, as you'll take 6 slashing damage. As he's gonna try for another bite. Ooh, a 9, just clamping onto your boot and not able to get through it. As you'll have another set of claws and teeth coming after you. Claw, 17, scraping across your back. Teeth or claws. Ooh, 15 again, going against your plate mail. Last one coming up, trying to come for your throat. Ooh, another crit. Just snapping down, catching into some of the flesh, doing 10 damage. It seems like these creatures are quite adept and frenzied, but they're leaving themselves horribly open. As Vin calls out from the crowd, and the terror beasts make them move! Their claws are quick, but oh, it seems that some teeth are just as agile. That one looks like he's about ready to throw up! As comes down to the lions, one of its ally, its mate possibly, having been slain. This one rears up, its teeth now bearing down both on you, either Swift Hollow or Tempercon. Having just slipped out of its grasp, it's going to try and grab onto you, Tama, or Swift Hollow. Just going in for a normal-ass bite. chippity chomp. But it does seem like the ape next to you somehow grants it a bit of advantage, keeping yourself slightly open to trying to keep your defenses high against it. Chomp. Ooh, another crit as you'll take 9 piercing damage. But it seems like not being in your vulnerable position, Sotalo, it's not able to bring you down.
That's all I wants to.
Unless you want
dodge.
Uncanny dodge. Yeah, pulling yourself just out of its teeth before it sinks down too deep, taking only half the damage.
She takes 5.
As it starts to pull itself away from you guys, trying to get some distance.
I'm gonna fucking. Is that as far as it goes?
It's about as far as it. We'll see how quickly if you can kill this thing or not. It's gonna try and make it a little further. We'll see how far he can try to make it if he has 2 people attacking him. Unless he has one.
I'm just gonna take the strike. I'm not gonna risk it. Yeah, I just try to wheel out and just kick it in the side of the head, planting my staff on the ground to use a little fulcrum here. And I'm not sure if he'll escape the wrath. Hey.
Oh, as that will connect, spin in and kick him in the head. Ooh, good damage. As you crack into this thing's skull, you can see fur immediately split and blood pours down its face. As it makes it about here. And you can see himself like putting his back against the pillar as he starts to sort of do the cat thing where his shoulders dip and rise, starts to wiggle himself. Looks like he's getting ready for another pounce.
Shaquille O'Neal wiggling.
You know it, baby. As Ben calls out from the crowd, the lion strikes out defiantly, but the valiant vanguard returned fire. It seems as if it's preparing for its final strike. As we come back to Ozaru, 1 second. That's not right. Okay. As this thing pounds its fists into the ground in frustration, seeing this ape no longer unable to be struck, beating down against the ground, he instead turns his head to the side, and you can see him put his fingers to the ground. To this ground, he's disrupted and broken, and he lifts it up over his head, this large chunk of stone. And then he turns and looks. And he sees next to you, Tamarkan, this elf pulling itself up and bloodied. And he throws it at Sotalo.
Duck.
Not in range, is he? Oh no!
Unfortunately not. As he's going to try and throw it at...
What does it?
21.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
As this massive stone, about the size of your own body, comes flying through the air and then just crashes down on top of you, almost knocking you off your feet. But fortunately, it's so broken and jagged enough that it shatters, as you will take 31 bludgeoning damage.
Holy shit.
No, that's fine.
Holy
We still have
shit.
more. We still have more than 0 hit points. If I've learned anything from Pathfinder and being a half-orc, as long as I have 1 HP, I can still fight.
As this thing takes heavy steps, you can see an arm wrap around the side of this pillar. As he starts to lift himself up, only making it about 20 feet or so. But he pulls himself up in the air.
Oh boy.
Then you are
He starts to
going.
fly? What the fuck?
He's climbing
Yeah,
up the
that's
pillar.
thankfully
He's
for
King
Swift
Konging!
Oh god. Thankfully for Swift Hollow, her illusory armor is hiding the most grievous, or I guess thankfully. It's a hidden blessing and a curse that's hiding the more grievous part of her wounds with her illusory armor.
Able to hide the wounds and blood. Well done, Sotalo.
Yeah.
As you can hear Vin call it from the crowd, and Ozaru tears the earth from the ground itself and makes it a weapon. The elf has escaped death once, but yet she still stands. Remarkable! Simply remarkable! Well done, elf! As Quildor, we come to you, surrounded by these beasts.
Cross on that. As it's just going to be a onslaught of silver and blood as Quildor will swing out at this creature behind him.
Alright, give me that attack. Ooh, how do you want to kill this thing?
As
We'll be
the
with
sword
advantage.
just comes, it just flies out and just severs the head from the spine. As I will then go and attack this one.
Yep, also with advantage. That'll connect, splitting into his side. Ah! But he still seems to be standing. Ooh, but not anymore. as you cut straight through him with that second strike. Or third strike, rather.
This one, just another swing. The head just drops to the ground as the momentum picks up as I action surge.
Oh,
Swing at the
shit.
one in front of me.
Ooh!
Hey,
As
there
that
you
will
go.
definitely connect. How do you want to kill this guy?
As this one just goes out again, it's just like this one solid motion, just head, head.
Nice. And that last strike coming down at him, that will definitely connect, cutting into his side quicker than he can actually dodge. But it seems like he's still alive, pulling back with a great cut across his shoulder.
As
That is what I'm talking about, Quildor. Well done.
with my bonus action, and with almost a sense of a bow with the crowd as the blood just flicks away, I will do a little misty step. And I will pop back right here next to Samantha. Can I go there? Do I need to go here?
Give it a little bit of space. A little bit of space. There you go.
Okay.
As you can hear immediately with the swing of the blade, the crowd just goes fucking nuts. As you hear Vin call out, "Incredible! A single flourish of a silver blade and 3 Titan hordes fall dead. Well done, Elf Knight, well done!" As it goes back to, these creatures here. Most of them having been slain, except for a couple of them. It seems these 2 creatures are still hot after you, Luna, trying to sink some claws and teeth into you with a little bit of advantage. As you're gonna have Claw coming at you. What does it say? 16?
As the claw comes towards her, she'll just call her shadows up around its hands and just drag it to the ground, as I wish.
Nice. Just deflecting the attacks as you have 2 more coming at you. Claw. Gosh. Ooh, not even close. And a bite. Ooh, a 22?
That one.
All right. Somehow getting around your rising shadow shield to strike you in the side, doing 5 piercing damage as the teeth catch you in your hip. As next to you on the other side, this creature does the same thing, striking out wildly with his claws and his teeth. Wow. 23. Able to get past the shield, finding openings, it seems, in their onslaught. As another claw. 21. Is that it?
So,
Ooh, another 8 damage, and finally a set of teeth. Gosh. Ooh, this time just being deflected as although its claws find purchase, and its head can't get around the shield. As you'll take a small amount of damage, but still these things seem to be closing in. Although now it seems that as time is passing, their blood is starting to stop boiling, and it seems as if they're calming down. As Vin calls out, "And yet as they die, the Terror Claws continue their onslaught, catching blood from our valiant vanguard." As these apes will, let's see, hold on. Oh, that's why I did that. You get out of here, Persephone.
Aha! Does mounted combat work, or since Tyrant's initiative is different, I can't use his movement on the turn?
You can command him to be mounted combat, but he can't take any actions. He basically will share your initiative.
That's fair. That's okay. With my vantage point on Tyrant and seeing Swift Hollow. Oh my god.
Well, good thing
I'm
she
going-
looks okay. She took a fucking grievous blow. Somehow she's still alive.
Got some blood coming down from the sides of her head, but her armor's fucking beautiful. It looks untouched.
Yeah. She still looks okay. Forceful wear, you know. You
mean,
did
just
see
an
the
eyeball
rock
popping
shatter,
out.
and she was still standing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Purse is going to
would be
run
nice.
a finger over her flower
Telepathically.
crown, and some fairies are going to fly out from the center of those flowers and swirl over to Swift Hollow and latch onto her as I use my Balm of the Summer Court to give you... You're in a bad shape. I'm going to give you 5 fairies.
Ooh. Hot mama.
And you'll
Roll them
get
fairy.
5 temp hit points along with that.
Ooh.
Hey! Oh no,
Well,
I
we
rolled
both
a
are.
Omen!
It's fine. It's fine. It is 22 hit points and 5 temp hit points. Well done.
Alright, now I just need to...
Meaty.
It needs to just roll around to my turn, and then I'll be okay. I'll be good. Then I can really
As these
start the
fairies
standoff.
come and graze your wounds, and you can see some of the blood starting to fade away as you feel a bit more vitalized.
Did they go away? Did they like disappear?
Yeah, they come over to you. They fly over to you and just kind of latch onto your wounds as almost they start to merge with them as they glitter and start to close up a little bit.
You got fairies inside of you now.
Yeah, fairies inside you now.
So Hollow will like redirect a couple of them up to her head to sort of stop the head bleeding. The more noticeable wounds.
Mm-hmm.
She has her fairy crown for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then it disappears.
All right.
Lovely.
Anything
That
else
was
you want to
my-
do?
That was my bonus action, so I'm gonna use, if I can, my half my movement to crawl down, and I'm going to use my action to cast Produce Flame to hit one of the small boys right around Samantha. I'm gonna go for the one that's closest to me.
Ooh, as
So
that will connect with advantage, of course,
Ah!
as they are frenzied,
Crit 'em.
baby.
Crit 'em.
Hey. Do I need to roll? Yeah, let me roll again, see if I crit him.
May as well. 23 still hits as a burst of flame catches into his back. Ah! As the feathers burn away on his back scaly side, as it will take drop damage.
And I use the other half of my movement to climb back onto Tyrant and pat his head.
He's so tall that none of my cantrips will reach from this spot. That's my turn.
As Vin calls out from the crowd, incredible! The seemingly still standing elf was brought back with fairies! I see not a spot of blood on her, and she stands stronger than ever. Well done, elf, well done! As we will come down to the hound, as you're now beset by this creature who tried to take a bite out you.
Hound will just draw its great sword from its back, and I still have advantage, right?
Yes, you do, baby.
Try to strike down this creature.
Ooh, a 19 will definitely connect. Give me that damage, and we gotta make a save. Ooh, yeah. As you cut into this thing, ripping it. What's it looking when you cut into this thing? Like a shadow blade? What's it look like? I haven't seen him in forever.
It's like a large shadow creature, but it seemed to kind of wisp black smoke off its blade as it kind of cuts into it, and along with like cutting into its skin, it just starts to like wrap around the creature and just try to bring it to the ground like a hook.
Nice. Connecting with it magically and trying to uplift its body as it pulls itself back, but one of its large, beefy thighs brings the foot back down and it keeps itself level.
Beefy thigh.
That's turn.
All right. The hound makes its move as Tyrant. One moment. Okay. As Tyrant now rears its head back and lets out a terrible roar to the crowd. And with you still on its back, Persephone. Coming down here, hungry for some apes.
Hell yeah.
As he's gonna reach down and try to take a big old juicy bite.
Eat the monkeys. Eat the monkeys. Eat the
Jump.
monkeys.
Pick him off.
As these teeth come sinking down and just immediately surround and crush, not quite as destructively as before. It seems to catch it like on the mostly upper body. You see like a pair of hands and legs sticking out from its jaws as it takes a huge bite. Horrible crunch sound as it lets go, and you can see just basically a severed monkey, a gorilla, hit the ground and die. And as it does so, it throws its head back in a great roar and turns itself around looking for more prey. As its tail comes swinging down here and just tries to whack into that boy. Whack. Ooh, and whack it does, as if it seems to smack this creature and send it flying into this crater and just break its back in one solid swipe.
Boom, shakalaka.
Somebody seems to
That's
be
what
enjoying
I'm talking
herself.
about.
Good boy, Tyrant!
As that'll be as Finn is like, Tyrant makes his move once more, decimating the team of beasts, seemingly finding himself on the side of the valiant vanguard. It seems that we're not your only fans, adventurers. As comes down to you, Tamar Khan. You can hear the footsteps getting louder and louder as this beast is making its way closer towards you guys. What do you do in the middle of this monkey tornado?
Getting corn to rambunctious. You sure you do not want a little bit of help with all?
I'm going to try to get on one of these pillars. I think the only thing that could have cost me is Azaru. Is that how you pronounce it? Azaru?
Ozaru.
See if I can give you some space. Like you stick my staff into the ground as I spin my body, hooking my foot around and trying to catch this guy in the side of the chin with the back of my heel. As I try to kick him. Yes, I'm cracking him across the side of the face.
Ooh, as that will connect. Woo! Smacks him in the side of the face.
And wheel my staff around as it just follows up the blow, as crunching into the side of the face and then crunching into the side again with the iron bar, swinging back.
Ooh, that will connect. Ooh. You see its head's hanging up barely as you've almost broken this thing's neck.
As I swing, continually swing on as it just sort of bends his head out of the way as the bar cracks into the one next to him as well.
Ooh, that will connect as well.
And with that, using a slight bit of actually no, the key subsiding from my body as I'm just going to wheel back around. Now it's just a fist and just bash into the side of this monkey's face as I actually just see it turned upwards. Turn my hand into a nice little karate chop and just karate chop it into the side of the neck, just blocking up an artery for half a second, getting that air away from its brain and just knocking him out.
All right.
Right in his bonus action.
Nice. Oh, as that will connect, I don't think you can not knock him out. Is that what you're doing?
Yep. Unconscious.
Oh. It's the ground, eyes rolled up in the back of its head. Still alive. At least you think so, but mostly alive. Just well beat.
Watch out for the counts as I start to slowly make my way back into the middle of all this, keeping my bar up for defensive. My magic's still shining on me, but the key not running through my legs. Not right now. As that's me.
All right. You can hear Vin call out from the crowd, continuing his own assault, brain melting out of ear. Well done, Simian Challenger, still untouched, striking down his foes, although they fall quite softly. Is this mercy we are seeing?
Hello, Savage. Love your opponent. There is no hate here. Only fun!
As you hear the crowd go nuts. Indeed, well spoken, entertaining and fun. That is what we are about here at the Stadium of the Gods. As Luna, it comes down to you, still being attacked by these creatures, their claws and teeth making it past your defense.
Luna is going to draw out this very strange looking dagger and stab it into the side of this creature as if it hits, from the side of it, bursting out in this black flame as I will green flame blade.
Ooh, which one are you attacking?
The one on my right.
Yeah,
one will get 10, and then 8 will go to that.
Oh, yes, I'll definitely stab down his. Ooh, oh, so close. How do you want to kill this first one?
Yeah, to just stab into, I guess, where, I don't know, dinosaur anatomy. In between its eyes, where I assume
it's like a chicken.
I don't know chicken anatomy.
Delicious.
Like a bird.
As the flames stab down into its eyes, you can see immediately the flames seem to enter its body, opens its mouth to bark or yelp at you, but fire only comes out of its mouth, as it seems like it's immediately just consumed in this fire. As the other flames go toward the other guy.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Nice. Flames bouncing out of its body, shooting out of its basically destroying form, and blasting this creature with a buffet of heat, as it seems like it's barely on its feet after half of it has been scorched by this black fire.
Let's see, and as a bonus action, 2 little pebbles will just start to form beneath her, as one of them will shoot out at this creature, the one that I couldn't kill, and then the other one will go out the one to my right. That's how Eldritch Blast.
All right. Getting some of that close range Eldritch Blast. Ooh. As the one on the left and right, one on the left first?
Yeah. That's
nice. How does that pebble kill this guy?
Just forming from beneath its head as it just shoots straight up through his throat. Falls over. And then the other one at this one between me and Corbin.
All right. Give me that shot. Ooh, that will still connect. This one a bit harder as it strikes it into its side. Ah! Able to shake its head. The rock almost hits it like a firm sling bullet, but not enough to really pierce through its body. So it takes a small amount of damage, comparatively.
Is that only my turn?
All right, you can hear the thing calling out from the crowd. Again, her magic destroys these beasts, taking away their life. This time in great and terrifying-looking flame. What else does this spellcaster have in store? What else does it have up in her sleeve? Keep watching and find out. As... Ooh, you're running out of numbers, Monkey Mans. As, yeah. These apes, one of them having been knocked out, one of these apes sees its ally fall to the ground unconscious, turns up to face you, Tamarkan, and just tries to swing its fist wildly at you. Assuming normal?
Just normal.
Wow. Ooh, this one catching you in the back. Finally able to land a blow and striking, dealing 12 damage. Nice.
Claws through my back. It looks like a terrible blow, but as it opens up its hand, it just sees it's filled with this golden as like I'm actually untouched.
As he's gonna go for another strike, getting another fistful of hair. Ooh, 23.
Around, just lowering my shoulder into the blow, twisting ever so slightly as the hand just bashes against this pauldron as it just deflects.
Nice, nice, nice. Good shit, as it can't quite reach you. As this ape down here, what can he do? As he's getting ready to basically take another rock to throw at you, Tamarkan, he stops and he's...
Okay, as that last one struck down, deflects away from the pauldron, the iron bar out of nowhere underneath his chin brought up as I use my last key point to surge some key into the iron bar, trying to strike into the throat of this monkey boy.
Ooh, just barely able to connect. How do you want to kill him?
Oh, if I can! Oh, if I get a cheat. I'm trying not to knock them out.
You're trying to knock them out? I figure. It's fine.
I have to kill them. As it just brings it up underneath the chin, but instead of just like this wicked snap to try to break its neck, it actually just lifts the body up as I turn the bar down and just slam his body into the ground, just knocking the wind out of him, as I just see it squirm.
As he just sort of falls unconscious. You see his feet hanging up in the air cartoonishly before he just falls down like a lever and unconscious. And as this ape takes this stone in his hand, getting ready to throw the ground around you, as he turns and sees Tyrant just making a beeline towards him, just throws the rock at Tyrant, trying to see if he can hit him.
Oh boy!
Ooh, a 17, that will do it, as hits him in the side of the head. As, let's see. He sort of stops in his as stride towards him, but then continues his movement, unabated. But the monkey, unfortunately,
What's your
will make
spell save DC? Is it like 16 or 17?
17.
As this creature will turn around and use the rest of his movement to climb up the pillar, as he does not want to be anywhere near this motherfucker.
Hey, that's my
Oh,
pillar.
he's picking up club.
As you hear it call out, they're trying their best, and finally a strike has been landed, but it seems to have done nothing. Is this simian invincible? As we'll come down to these boys. Oh, he's dead. We'll come down to this boy, as after having been struck and almost knocked off his feet, this beast will turn and snarl, and with a normal strike, try to come after you, Mr. Hound. 13? Ooh, not gonna do it. How do you defend against it, Hound?
Nice. As the boot just lifts up and just pushes his mouth away.
Knocking its mouth away. As it starts to move its way around you. It looks like he's trying to get some distance. But actually, he's going to try and get some distance. Use the rest of the movement trying to get about away from you. Not trying to disengage.
Stop.
Ooh! Stop. Give me that attack roll. Oh, shit, yeah. Cutting into its form, you can see again, trying to get cut up and the magic catching onto its body. See if he can keep on his feet. Oh, he cannot. And no, prone it falls. Although it does have just enough movement to try and get itself back onto its feet, but that's all it can do. It stays within your reach. As you hear
battle.
as Vin calls out, the strange new challenger apparently has entered the battle, and it seems as though this beast tried to escape it. It is not letting it leave. Who is this mystery member of the Valiant Vanguard?
Still attack, right?
It tried. It missed. Yeah. As Sotelo, back to you. You see this pole you're ready to climb. Suddenly, another ape is climbing up top of it.
Swift Hollow will use her cunning action to basically try to wall run up the pillar. With 80 feet of movement.
Oh shit, yeah. As you make it up to the pillar, yep, climbing this thing's gonna be a bit of a challenge. Unless you got a climb speed, it's gonna cost you 2 feet for every one.
Oh, good thing we have 80 feet of movement.
I know, right? But you do sort of wall run for a moment before you need to take a hand and catch onto the side.
Yeah, she leaps up and grabs the top of the pillar, bringing herself up. As unfortunately, speed will carry her far, but not that far enough, apparently.
I might try to punch you.
As peering over the side of the monkey,
they're
Swift Hollow
unconscious.
will... What was that?
If he's climbing up towards him. Are you climbing up above him where he is? Because he's like on the opposite side of a pillar from you.
Oh,
So
am I not standing on the pillar?
Oh, so if you climb up all the way up 40 feet, yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, he's only up. There's a pillar between him and Swift Hollow. Can't really get around him.
I know if he could reach around to her.
Oh, he can't reach that far.
Yeah, as Swift Hollow peering up and then seeing the monkey trying to climb up her pillar. Just sort of toss birds of a feather up before throwing it down after catching it in the air, trying to take this guy out. With
All
the
right.
dangerous momentum she has from capitalizing, killing the lion. As she has advantage
Nice.
with her dance of swift death.
Yeah, girl. Give me that attack roll. Ooh.
26.
Yeah. How do you kill? So attacking the ape?
Yep.
How do you want to kill him?
Just
drop the knife on him?
Hollow.
Rogues.
Yeah. Swift Hollow just throws the knife down at him. As from this position, she pulls out her crossbow. Alrighty. As that'll be her turn. That's her action bonus action.
All right, you hear the crowd at this point go wild the moment you make yourself high in the air. They can see you now standing above, even the massive creatures fighting in this area. And there she is, taking her perch like a bird of prey. The elf strikes down another one of these beasts with a single blow. Well done, challenger. As how many of you guys left? Oh boy. Oh jeez, guys, come on, step it up a little bit. As
Shit together.
this ape here, sort of almost by himself now, is gonna try to get close to you, Temercon, and he's gonna go for 2 fist strikes. Gonna go whoop and
Defend myself.
whoop.
Able to deflect the blows away. Running out a little bit of an energy as I actually start to slow down in my movements ever so slightly, trying to recollect myself. But magic's still able to.
All right, yeah, this thing just cannot at all reach you. As from up here, with a large and massive beast besetting him, this ape's going to do the same thing as Zalai did and try to climb up this pillar as fast as he can. Only making, actually, how much you got? Oh, can't make it too far. As he's only going to make it about 30 feet or so until he gets to the edge. And yeah, best of his ability, he's going to try and take the dodge action because he's just trying to defend himself. Anyone else? This guy down here, seeing a big tyrant charging through the forces and literally eating apes with every step he takes. He's going to be trying to get the hell away from this thing. And now that there's sort of a clear shot, you can see him taking up some rocks in his hand and just throwing them at you, Luna. Another rock coming your way. Woo! 19.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, it's 8 damage as the rock strikes into your chest, although this ape leaves himself pretty well open. As seems like that's all they got, right? Yep, cool. As you hear Vin call out, the ape's forces are thinning in number with every strike of the Valiant Vanguard and every bite of Tyrant. It seems they are the losing side of this war, but can they make a stand? After all, their king still remains. As Samantha, it comes to you.
I just sort of taking in the battlefield with my very encompassing view, and then seeing this monkey cowardly run past and chuck rocks at Luna. Oh, that will not stand. As I just quickly toss my whip over and out of the way, reaching back again for another little wonderful gift that I have on me, grabbing a hold of that protean wand and just begin to channel some magic both through myself and through the scepter. As I call on my Eldritch Blast, and you can see just like this long green, like almost looks like a whip of sorts, form at the end of the wand, and then it switches from that crackling green to a soft and pale white, and then from there into a roaring flame as I channel it into fire. And I will cast Eldritch Blast with a bit of wild flame, whipping far and across at the monkey that threw a rock at Luna, as I will whip him twice.
All right.
Some wildfire Eldritch Blast.
Give me them attack.
Real good.
As not with advantage. Incendiary blast.
Basically, just raw charisma roll because it takes away your proficiency. Oh, the first one will definitely connect. The second one does not, as the flame goes flying around the shoulder of Luna. Definitely able to just easily avoid your allies and any cover in the way and strike down into this creature, dealing a hearty amount of damage, almost knocking him off his feet as fur goes from black to orange. Flames cascade over his body. Second strike going wild and over his head, not able to connect. But he's got to make a cow saving throw, baby.
Yes, he does. He fails as he is ignited.
Certainly his throat continues to burn, as it seems like he's going to be taking some terrible damage when his turn comes around. See if he even survive it.
I have Quildor and Luna with me. I think it should be alright. Yeah, I'll hold back. That's it for me.
All right, you can hear Vin call from the crowd. Incredible! What magic was that? Whips of fire across the area. Even when beset by enemies and surrounded by allies, she strikes with considerable accuracy. That ape is on his last foot. Well done, challenger. As it's time for Terror Claws. Little Miss Sicky down here is going to be trying to come after you, Samantha. This time just trying to continue to rake its claws against you. It seems like he's trying to reach up to catch onto your snakes. Seems like the only vulnerable part they can reach, and those that just bit it last. Although it's doing so with disadvantage.
No, he should be good now because it's still at the end of my turn.
Oh, that's right. So he's good. He's going for a bite though.
As he reaches out, I'm gonna strike at him.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's see. Ooh. Nice, as the blade cuts into his side, you see blood spray across his form. Barely still alive, but just it seems like at his death throes, still trying to carve down at Samantha. First claw coming at her. 8, missing. The claw reaching down to the side, coming at you, missing. And in this final moment, you can see, having been cut in between her strikes, it turns its head towards you, Quildor, and tries to bite. Ouch. Ooh, not able to do it though.
It's a good thing you switched targets.
Yeah, how about that? It's down here, having just been pebbled in the face by Luna. This creature's going for after her, trying to sink its claws and teeth into her body. I got 2 claws and a bite. Whoosh! Missing wildly through the air, still disoriented by the pebble that smashed into its face. Woof! Swinging away. Still wild, unable to reach her. Finally going after her legs. If it can't attack high, it's going to attack low. 22. Whoosh! Zoom into that hits. Dealing 3 damage. And following up behind with its ally, seeing someone apparently keeping his back to them, this creature's gonna jump and try to pounce you, Mr. Quildor. Takes some steps back and runs and jumps. As you're gonna... You have your front line up?
Yeah, I don't have my front line up.
Okay, so then yeah, you're using your attack to strike at this one. You're leaving yourself open. It's gonna try and pounce on top of you. It's gonna go for a claw. Bah! Ooh, you feel the claw smash into your body.
The shield just bashes it off.
Knocks him off. It catches on for just a second, but you're too strong to be taken down as it hits the ground, and another set of teeth and claws are coming at you. Bah! 22. Ah. Nope. So just
shield just buffets it away. It's just quicker than you ever seen.
Yeah, awesome. little hasted on your side as a pair of teeth are coming at you. Whoosh! Ooh, not able to get you. Too defensive, Quildor the elf. Far too defensive. As you can hear Vin call out from the crowds, and yet when beset on all sides himself, the elf remains untouched. His armor too thick, his reflexes too fast. How does he do it? As the lion, with some time to prep, is going to run, and with his mighty feet, with his mighty legs, if I pull you up, yeah, is going to leap up and over the ape that stands before you, Tamarkan, and tries to land on top of you. As he's gonna go for a claw with advantage, thanks to these apes sort of surrounding you and giving him some advantage. Why? Ooh, but not able to do it. Claws sink down in the earth. Not able to reach.
It just scratches across the metal as it comes flying up. There you are, my furry friend.
And it seems like he's just trying to bear down on top of you. That's all he can do. As you hear Vin call out, another great pounce taking him high into the air. And yet it seems that our simian challenger cannot be harmed. Okay, let's see. Ooh, okay, interesting. Here, roll you.
Oh boy.
Okay. As you see Ozru holding onto this pillar, looking down, trying to find a good place to strike, seeing Swift Hollow standing on top of the pillar. He starts to pull himself up, and then boom, boom. His head turns, and he sees this massive beast striding down across the battlefield. And he pushes himself off of the pillar.
Yes, do
Fired into the air. As two fists are coming down, one of them down at Tyrant, and one of them inadvertently down at you, Persephone, on its back. First one coming down at Tyrant.
Dodge, dip, and dodge.
Ooh, but Tyrant pulls itself out of the way the last second as the second fist comes swinging down towards you, Persephone. Ooh, pulled away with Tyrant. The beast moves away, and boom, the ground between you explodes into a crater.
Let them fight! Let them fight!
There and there. As it lands on the ground, you can see him lift up his fist, sort of taking a step back. As he calls out to a familiar sound, Tamarkan, as ape next to you is gonna try and swing at you. Where you at? Yeah, gonna punch you. Swing it through the air. As the ape up here climbs up. Get out of here. Ape up here climbs the rest of the way up onto this pillar. And you can see he takes a big chunk out of it in his hand. And seeing that he's attacking at his quarry, maybe a bit more brave now that his king seems to be on his side, is going to take that rock and chuck it down at Tyrant. Yeah! You see it fly and off his heavy body. This tiny chunk was way too small to even hurt him. As you hear Vin call out, and the beasts have clashed, but Ozaru's fists are not quick enough to strike the now quickened and tamed Tyrant. How does this spellcaster keep him so controlled and deft? As comes to you, Quildor. Now again surrounded by these tiny beasts.
As my sword just goes into the ground, as sand just flies up onto the shield, as I just parry it across all these creatures, as I just blow, almost as if I'm whispering into the sand, as it just blankets the eyes of all of these creatures around me, as I swing out at the one behind.
Which one? There's two behind, kinda.
That one.
Yeah, how do you want to kill that one?
As the sword just goes, it just kind of, just with the sand, as it just gets it in its eyes, as its head goes up, as the sword just comes out and just whack, as the head just rolls to the ground. As which one looks more messed up, this one or that one? Because I can't see the health bar on the one on the bottom.
The one to your right
Shit.
looks more messed up.
Yeah, this guy got smacked in the face
The
with
one
a
in the
pebble
front?
down here. Yeah, this guy over here is pretty. This guy's pretty tough,
All
and this guy's pretty dead, ish.
All right, so then I will swing out the one in front.
Ooh, cutting straight into him. You can see like cutting through his mouth, his jaw sort of hangs slack, but he's still alive. His blood just pours from him.
As I swing again, this time the head just rolls off again. As then I just turn and look down at this one.
Someone get this man a Vorpal sword already.
All right. As you hear Vin call out from the stands, again he splits the heads from the necks of these terrible lizards. His blade remains sharp nonetheless. It must be blessed with magic.
Always the heads? Why
Temporary hit
always
points.
It's his motif.
Yeah,
Because then they can't bite you.
that's true. As who we got left? You alive? I think all these guys are dead. Fantastic. All the red ones have died. As Persephone, riding on top of Tyrant, watching these massive fists swing past you and miss, it seems as if Ozaru is challenging you and your new friend.
Okay, this is fine. This is fine.
Ooh, this would be fun. As Purse is actually gonna crawl to Tyrant's head so she can get as close to Uzaru as possible. I don't know how much movement that's gonna be, but
He's like 20 feet long because he's not really tall, but you could basically you're like in the middle of him, so you get like 10 feet to crawl on his head. Although it's gonna be a bit of a balancing act. It's a big moving head.
how far is he? You know what? I think that should be fine. I can. 15. It's 15 from me. It should be fine.
You're within range.
Yeah, I'm within range. It's gonna be fine. So Purse is just going to like rub her hands together, and her crystal's gonna start glowing. She's just going to clap them as a big boom erupts from her as I cast Thunder Wave.
Hey!
Yeah! Oh.
All right, let's see. You wrap your hands together, point towards the creature, and boom! This force seems to erupt and try to push him. Let's see if he can make it. He fails as the burst erupts loudly, filling the entire arena with like a sound of a thunder strike, loud, as he gets pushed back 10 feet away. Woof.
Push the monkey.
You can see the ground suddenly get dragged as there's like large hand marks. This thing tries to level itself, and yet it keeps itself on its feet as it takes more damage.
Wee bad damage.
You see, like his head starts to twist and shake as he opens his mouth and lets out these like loud barks as if to test his own hearing.
What I'm going to do next is Purse is just going to pat Tyrant on the head.
We'll take care of him in a moment, but let's help Tamar Khan.
And I'm going to telepathically tell him to eat the lion.
Okay. As you hear the crowd for a moment just go silent, as it seems like the loud boom of your thunder wave has caught all their attention before they just erupt again. Strange magic all around those that conjure the power of the storm. This elf with butter magic has forced Ozaru back. How does he do it? As the hound, this creature still stands before you, trying to snap away at you, but your blade is cutting ribbons through him. What do you do?
To shreds, you say.
There's like this strange combat over here, separate from everyone else. As this great sword will just kind of slender down and form into a large scythe as you will attempt to cut into this creature.
Get him.
Duel on the far side of your...
Oh, that would still connect.
I love that he has
Fuck it
his
up I go.
solo encounter in the corner there.
As you are ripping into this creature, you can see cut up to his side again, this time trying to rip him off his feet. Let's see. Ooh, but again, this time able to keep himself level. It seems like he is determined to keep fighting you on equal grounds.
That's his turn.
Who is this mysterious challenger facing off against this great beast? Watch him with his blade of magic and shadow carve him into pieces! Still untouched! As Tyrant, stepping forward. Rip and tear. Lets out this terrible roar. And goes down for a great and mighty bite at the lion. cracker. Chomp. Ooh,
Oh man, he's gonna get
seems
a
like a
tummy
bit
ache.
weathered, seeming still shaken by the blow of this creature almost hitting him, but brings his head down nonetheless and bites down. Tamarkan, you see this massive blue head chomp down on top of the head of the lion, lift him up, shake him, and just fucking throw him to the opposite side of himself as he is fucking annihilated.
Creature.
I grin at Tamarkan and wave at him.
Swing
As he turns, and as he turns to throw this thing, his tail flies haphazardly and just tries to strike out. Actually, he told him to fight the lion. He swings out his tail flying through the air.
Is the dead lion into the ground?
As he's just throwing him, spinning around.
He throws him and smacks him with the tail like a baseball bat.
Keeps him flat on the ground.
My dino doggo is having fun with his new dead toy.
As that is his turn, you hear Vind call out, "Tyrant claims another victim! One by one, the beasts are falling, but it seems as if his Titan horde are falling in suit." As Tamarkan, the numbers are thinning, but the great beasts still remain. What do you do?
We could do the thing we talked about. As the strength waiting out of my body, I take a second to recollect myself, to think of the fight of these beasts, as my hair begins to grow, as my fingers and toes elongate, as my body almost seems to snap in places, as it almost seems like my arms and legs elongate, as you can see Persephone as you wave down at me. I look up with a big grin as these two incisors just grow out of my face, as they just become this horrible gnashing grin. As I whip back and kick this thing in the side of the head, as I shift, getting myself some temporary hit points, and DM, try to cheat here. I've been hanging out with my brother a lot. The thing feature lets it so my favorite enemy, which happens to be humanoid for a little bit here, specifically my very simian humanoid brother. Do you think it might help me avoid the opportunity strikes of a very large simian humanoid-esque creature?
I'm gonna say, unfortunately, no. They're very simian, but they are beasts. Intelligent beasts, but they are beasts. They fight similar. They're wild.
Monkey aren't people.
I'm trying to see if I can get away with it, but I am just trying to kick up into the side of the head of this creature behind. Crunch!
Ooh, crunch you do as you crack into the side of this creature's head. Whoop! As his head flies backwards up as he seems to be quite, well, not stunned, but dazed by the blow. Quite a hearty strike.
As I spin my body around him, getting into range of big old simian man, as I crack my staff against the side of Monkey Man next to me, seeing if I can just knock him off of his feet out of the combat, see if I 12 to hit?
Ooh, a 12 will just barely hit him. Thankfully, he was stunned by that last blow.
13 do it?
13 will definitely do it. As you hit him in the head, he sort of stands in place for a moment before cartoonishly just hitting the ground unconscious.
Little birdie starts spinning around.
As I spin my body and slam into the inner side of this creature's leg, as I slam on home, trying to strike him silly a little bit, as trying to just bash into his leg. The 12 roll like garbage. They got AC.
Ooh, as that will also connect, as it seems just focused on Tyrant.
Crack into the side of his leg.
As he's like smacking a heavy stick into his foot as he lifts it up instinctively.
I will just stand my ground. Starting to move myself away from this pillar a bit, or towards the pillar a bit, as my body sort of sways back and forth, looking back and forth between Tyrant and this big old monkey. Good to the fun. Let us see what's Mustapha's best. As just start breathing heavy, my body swaying. As that's me.
All right. As you can hear from the crowd, Vin call out, "Incredible! Another ape falls with gentle fist! The simian is having his fun as he seems even more beastly! Is he man or animal?"
Actually, I lied. I'm gonna leap up onto this fucking pillar and swing my ass around it to get up behind this big old simian boy, using the pillar as a little bit of cover, not getting out of his reach, but getting some height on him. I'm gonna go up about 20 feet.
Where would you start? Because you are in difficult terrain when you do that.
Oh. Okay. So I can go up 10.
Yeah. He lied, everybody! The monkey lied! Alright.
I thought you were about to mount. I thought you were about to mount him, and then you and Persephone were gonna have like a battle. Go, my wild steed!
Get the fucking joysticks out.
Alright. Yep. With that, Luna, we come to you.
Rock robots in here.
You guys have the single creature, right? I'll just not disengage.
Not disengage. Alright. Teeth and claw teeth are coming at you. Trying to snap at you. Ah! Bada! 22.
Let's see something real quick. Cause I think I can still do that because I got my reaction back.
Yes, you can.
I will. I'm gonna swing out at him.
Alright. Ooh!
As he just goes to reach out at Luna, the sword just comes down. Is he dead?
Nope. Almost, but nope. As
the sword comes down, as I just like slice off several of these claws.
One of his hands is curling and falling away. Ah! But his teeth still sink into Luna unless you shield. I don't think you can shield from that. As you'll take 9 piercing damage.
Yeah, I see that ape still on that pillar. I'm a firebolt him.
Oh, as that will connect. Bolt of fire flying up towards him, catching. As it seems to hit him in the throat as fire begins to fill his mouth before he starts patting it out as he takes 10 damage.
I will just walk over here, and that'll be my turn.
Alright, as you hear Vin call out, she escapes! Clawed with her, bitten by the beast, but her ally retaliates! What incredible teamwork, even without the use of words! As we come down to... Oh, that's a bad way for you guys, huh? Oh, you guys are gone. How you doing, buddy? It seems like the last one of these terror seekers is the one striking down at the hound, who leans forward trying to bite at you one more time. Actually, he's gonna try and run away. Get some distance between you and him.
Coward, strike him.
The hound.
Oh, is that will connect? Give me that damage roll.
Let you fall over again.
As he tries to cut at him as he moves away, let's see. He falls over once more, tripping as he scrambles back to his feet. And as he rolls back up to his feet, he snaps his head out towards the hound, trying to bite him. Ooh, this time connecting, ripping into the armor and tearing as he does 14 damage.
The hound just doesn't even move, doesn't feel pain. No dying, but it's just kind of standing there with the inside of its mouth.
Your fin call. Ooh! And in a desperate attempt, the beast tries to escape, but the knight strikes him down, not without suffering a blow, as you can see the beast immediately go. Didn't enjoy that bite, it seems. What is this knight made of? As Swift Hollow on top of this 40-foot pillar. What do you do? Your knife stuck in the head of this other creature.
Yeah. Last turn, she pulled out her crossbow and again is able to, like a bird perching, and finding her next victim. Oh boy, it's big old monkey man. Gotta help out the tyrant. Because who knows how long Persephone's gonna be able to keep it wrangled.
Alright, give me that attack roll.
Oh,
get advantage too, don't you?
Sneaky sneak. Do indeed. As, or maybe, as Swift Hollow reaches down to her pouch and taking one of the
Oh,
bolts
yeah.
as she sort of bops it, or sort of takes one of the glass valves and hitting one of the arrows, using sort of the arrow tips of one of the crossbow bolts, so hitting one of the glass shards, knocking into the air. She takes it and then pours it on 3 of the bolts in her cases as she poisons 3 crossbow bolts with a dose of superior poison.
That's a bonus action.
That's a bonus action, real quick, real fast, using her
Usable.
combination of sleight of hand and acrobatics to just pop it up and do it fast. As she loads the crossbow bolt, takes aim. There
All
it
right.
comes.
Oh, mamma mia.
Oof.
All
Oh boy, I was
right.
waiting for that.
Okay.
Fuck him up! Fuck
All right.
him
What kind of
up!
poison did you use on this? Just to clarify.
Superior.
A superior poison.
Nice.
So it's
Okay.
gonna be
Good
fun.
shit.
DC
Mamma
16.
mia. As D16, let's see if he gets to make that. Ooh, able to withstand some of the poison, but still taking damage from it.
That's a rogue!
As fuck me, mama.
Need to subtract 7 from that. Because the poison can't crit.
Yeah. Actually, this can. No, you're right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
his
got
damage,
6
but
for
yeah.
one.
As 28. Whoo.
48, 68, so
76
61?
damage before reductions.
20, so 82.
I got 60.
And makes it save, so.
Oh, it made it save.
Yeah. We'll do 7. Let's see. 4 plus 4, 8. Cool. As we will do 4. Nice.
61
As-
minus 4, so 57.
As this bolt catches it in the side of the head, just right next to its eye, as it lets out that terrible ear-splitting roar in pain. As it seems like it almost fell off its feet just from the strike, as it puts its hand up and wipes away this big smear of blood.
Swift Hollow calmly, with a sort of eerily silent look in her eye, just this dead set on killing this giant ape as she loads another crossbow bolt.
All right.
I still got my advantage, baby. I crit.
Yes, you do, baby. Is that your turn?
As that is my turn.
As when
Action,
the bolt
bonus action.
strikes into this creature, the crowd, of course, goes wild. A devastating blow onto the king of the apes. Well done, elf. Well shot, and it seems to have taken even more potent effect. How will the king stand up in this onslaught? There is still strength in him yet. As... Ooh... Hey, Samantha, what happens at the start of his turn?
Oh, that fire burns, baby. Where's that?
That fire
Ignition
do what that
damage.
fire does?
It does. Take that. 2 damage.
Oh,
Oh, as this thing starts patting its body. As it seems like it's barely alive. Oh, that's 2 damage. As it seems like he's limping and just at this point going into a frenzy, just trying. Seems like the flames are surrounding it. It's just trying to run around the battlefield, putting itself out. Hands just pat, 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 pat. Well, the flames are finally gone, but there's just nothing else they can do. As this ape here, oh, you're unconscious. This ape here just got a bolt of fire thrown at it. Again, see it reach down, take another rock before fire hits its throat. As it sees finally eyes clearing and the sound of its roaring king diminishing, looks up to the closest creature and, best of his ability, it's gonna throw a rock at you, Persephone.
Duck.
Oof.
17. Duck underneath your shield, bounces off, flies away. As the ape.
your massive shield.
Yeah. Fucking huge. Whole
Well
body
protected.
size.
Fucking looks
Shield
like a
on one,
roulette.
shield on one side and dinosaur on the other.
I lower my shield and I pat it like I've been petting Tyron. Good job, Krem. Like Krem's my shield.
These poor apes, they try, but they cannot hit their marks. It seems the end is near. As Samantha, it comes down to you. You see the ape that you lit on fire now finally patting himself out, mostly devoid of hair, just covered in these horrible burns. Barely alive.
Okay, it's technically simultaneously, so I can determine it. Okay, so I'm just going to, taking measured strikes now, seeing, observing the battlefield and seeing this sort of coming towards its end. All right, Quildo. Let's make sure that Persephone doesn't end up flattened underneath that dinosaur, right? As she just whips out the flame whip past him to the monkey with one blast towards him, and just as quickly as the whip lashes out, the fire just seems to curl back up around her arm, forming around into like this sort of gauntleted wreath of flame around her fist, and she just changes her grip around the wand and just sends a slamming punch into this dinosaur here. As we'll split the blasts up. Normal incendiary blast. Monkey, sending him back 10 feet, of course. And dinosaur, sending him back 10 feet as well.
How do you kill these things?
Yeah, so as the whip just comes over at the monkey, he's just patting himself up, and you can just see the fire just lash up his back as he just crumples over to the ground dead. And as the flame wreaths back around my arm, I just channel in that energy, bring up a wild haymaker against the dinosaur, and you can see Quildor, especially that close, the dinosaur just begin to like crack and crumble all over as the fire wraps up around it, as it just starts to turn into like this almost sort of like a fiery after image as its body just starts to burn away. And that after image of this dinosaur, this energy just seems to sort of hang there suspended for a moment. And you can see Samantha sort of just bring her grip around and bring it in close. And you can see that fire of that after image surge into her arm and surge into her as she, as a reaction, absorb life from this thing, consuming it in her flames, as she will gain temporary hit points equal to her charisma plus her warlock level as a reaction for killing this thing with fire.
Holy shit.
And you can see just like around her neck and like most of her visible skin, you can see this soft sort of just behind the green, the sort of dancing orange red underneath her scales, like she's on fire on the inside.
Good shit.
Now, she turns around to face Ozaru and the rest of the situation, trusting in the Hound to win this strange duel.
You got this, Hound.
We believe in you.
That's it for me, baby.
All right. You can hear the crowd immediately go wild as this flame comes shooting out of you, striking to both creatures with expert precision and killing them both in one almost solid blow. Incredible! More flame magic bringing death to these creatures! And it seems it's brought you more life, Challenger! More fights await you. You will definitely need it. As these guys are all dead. This guy is all dead. Ozaru. And roll one more time. Da-da-da. Oh, okay. As this beast, angered and now bloodied, brings his hand down from this mass of crimson that spills out his face and just lets out that horrible roar. As he's going to reach back for a moment, stepping back and trying to get a good look around with part of his vision obscured, seeing a simian man crawling up this pillar, Tyrant now sort of turning his head, basically the only creature left alive, and then another creature perched up on top of the pillar. As its hand's going to reach out and just try to smash into you, Tamar Khan, both you and the pillar getting sort of struck with this one attack. Woof.
Not close
22.
enough, though. It seems like I have my attention trying to pull myself up this wall. As it tries to strike out, I actually just release my hand, bring my bar up as it looks like I'm falling, and then I just stop. As you can see, my tail is actually wrapped up around my side and grabbed onto a piece of broken rock on the side of this pillar. Hold myself up as I'm able to climb with my tail as I deflect away the fists coming in my direction.
As with that deflection, you see Ozer taking some steps back further, and finally, just
as I swing back and crunch into his arm. The fuck out of here!
Oh, is he still near range?
Yeah,
He's not going too far.
I use a key point because he missed.
Okay. As he swings and misses, the bar comes swinging in and crashes to his side, hitting him in the side of the arm now. That actually has some elevation to you, doing a hefty amount of damage. You can see him reach up and like his arm immediately dip for a moment as he lets out that terrible roar. as instead he just turns forward to this other creature now bearing him down and just fucking sprints towards him. And you can see his body begin to lower as suddenly Persephone, this thing seems to not throwing his fists, but his shoulder into Tyrant. As he's gonna try and shove him. Boom. How do you do, Tyrant? How do you do? Boom. Ooh, as this thing bashes into Tyrant's side. You can see him trying to mug him off his feet, but Tyrant, sort of tipping back from it, Persephone leans back into Ozaru and just lets out a defiant roar. As he pulls back, Ozaru just lets another terrible roar pounding into its chest, as he's once again going to try and command the last of his followers to pick up a rock and throw it. Oh shit, he can't see you, Tebricon. Gotta go at fuck. Yeah, he's gonna do a Tyrant. Another rock. Fly through the air. Ping! Hitting on the side of the head now.
First frantically like pets his head. It's like, no, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Hold on.
Jesus.
I you over, I swear to God.
You hear Vid call out, "The beasts clash once more, but Tyrant remains defiant. Shall this change the world? Shall this change history? Will the Titan Horde beat the beasts in this rewriting of the chapter?" As Quildor, all the beasts around you now lay dead, and only the great beasts and one of their followers on a tall pillar remain. What do you do?
So this is like a hole in the ground, right?
It's like a big old crater. It's difficult terrain, my friend.
So there's a crater.
Basically.
Perfect. Go here, 15, go around that crater. And then I'm going to jump over it
Ooh.
with my 20 strength.
Yeah, and your hasty haste.
Indeed.
Oh, your fucking
and
moment.
As I'm in the air,
Wow. Drain face.
I will take a little second wind. Give myself, what is that, 15 hit points?
Nice.
Get myself up to maximum hit points as the sword comes swinging down in just a voracious onslaught as 3 slashes.
All right. Ooh. Ooh. All 3 of those will connect.
As it's just going down, it's just like, just starting like right underneath his armpit and just going down his side.
Nice. Cutting all the way down. It seems as your blows are doing a hearty amount, each one cutting deeper and deeper, turning that crimson fur into a deep, dark scarlet, as it looks like this creature with every cut is getting weakened and weakened with every blow.
And that'll be my turn.
All right, landing on the ground, you hear the crowd go wild as you go bursting forth from the distance, crossing that distance with considerable speed, jumping and cutting your way down the great beast. And there he is, the Elven Knight, facing off by himself, a great against Ozaru, my brain is melting, against the great ape, cutting him to ribbons, but yet more flesh remains. The valiant vanguard have turned this battle to their favor. As Persephone riding atop Tyrant.
Yes.
As he's within range, I believe.
Yeah, it's fine. First, it's just going to extend a hand, and a flower's just going to blossom out of it as a petal shoots out, and I cast Produce Flame to strike into Ozaru.
Ooh, give me that flame. Ooh, that'll connect. Fire cascading across his body. You can see some of the fur up by his shoulders now burning and spreading as he reaches up trying to pat it out. Still alive, but it seems like he is getting weaker and weaker.
And with that same hand, I'm just going to pat Tyrant on the hand. Now let's go after the big one.
And
Get that killing blow.
attack King Kong over there.
Do it. Do it.
As
my
you hear
turn.
Vin call out, "More fire! More fire! Ozaru is on his last legs, but who shall get the final blow?" As Hound What are you doing in your little private match?
Hound, go Hound.
Finally,
Jordan,
the
zoom in
real
on the hound.
fight, the real reason people came to his call is not this boring fight over here.
No.
He's gonna take another great first fight to him.
Oh no!
As the
You
real
had your
Titans
moment,
clash.
Hound. You had it
Swing
and
in the
ruined it.
sword through the air. The
Choke.
beast reels back and just avoids the strike.
Only he had DM inspiration.
Too much. The hound
Oh,
looked
you silly
around
hound.
and realized the audience were watching only him.
Oh, he got
The pressure
God.
got to him. His sword got him.
As Vin calls out, and yet the knight continues his fight despite missing a part of himself. Strange, what are you? Who are you? As Tyrant. As he throws himself forward and teeth go reaching out, trying to bite into Ozaru. Oh, yes! As Ozaru reels back from the fire on his shoulder, falling forward on one arm, Tyrant takes advantage, his massive mouth opening, and in one great lean, the head takes the head of Ozaru, just completely engulfing the whole thing, shaking to and fro until Ozaru falls headless.
60 damage.
As with his head reeling back, as his massive bowl just runs down his throat.
Fuck yeah!
And with his head turning around excitedly, you can see his tail just smack into this large pillar.
A duck.
Yeah, he's way too tall. You don't need a duck, my friend. Let's see. Oh, you don't need that. You don't have that either. Oh shit, buddy. Let's see. Ooh, as the ape starts to stumble as the pillar gets hit and tumbles down 40 feet.
Oh my god!
Oh shit! As he falls. As the ape dies.
And its curse sits upon Tyrant's
As he
back.
leans back his head and roars triumphantly.
And after Tyrant roars, Curse is going to shout into the arena, "Valiant Vanguard, let's finish this!" As she's going to point to the hound so we can aid him.
As the crowd for that.
Unfortunate,
We're keeping
because
Tyrant.
the only thing I see
keeping
is a
Tyrant.
giant target who is
We're keeping
huge
Tyrant.
and looks like King Crush.
As that moment, the head gets ripped off the shoulders of the ape. There is almost silence before again, just roaring as loud as they can. It has been done! The battle has been won against the ape! Tyrant is successful! The new ally of the Valiant Vanguard! But for how long? How long will this spell last? How long will the king remain their friend?
Not Persephone. You know we can't keep it.
As Tamarkan, you watch this headless ape just fall dead next to you, with his bloody mouth of this great lizard now turning to face looks to be this other remaining enemy down across the way. What do you do?
I crawl up to the top of the pillar as I look down at Persephone, very excited. This little thought shooting out. What is the plan with your panther, Persephone?
Maybe we won't have to kill him if we ask nicely.
Very
And
well.
over there.
As I will
The beast.
I gently put my staff down by my feet, pull out a longbow off my back, and aim down across the battlefield, pull an arrow, and then wait. As I hold my action to strike out at this guy on the far side with my longbow, to see if the hound finishes it off. If the hound can't finish it off, I'll put an arrow in his side.
Alright. As the Vin calls out, it seems the simian is now biding his time. Another hunter perched on his pillar, watching his prey. As Luna, you see the hound is still facing up against this great lizard. What do you do?
I look back toward Persephone, her dinosaur dog. I just kind of sigh. Persephone. If it works anything like the spell that I cast on that person last night, he's not your friend. He
I'm
doesn't
fully
care
aware of
about
that.
you.
I know.
What is your plan here? Are we going to kill it? Are we going to pretend that it's our friend and then they're just going to call it?
They use magic to bring him. Maybe they can use magic to unbring him.
Why don't you
We
go
hope
ask
so.
the MC?
I will. But let's kill the other dinosaur first.
I think we only do have like 30 seconds left on it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a minute.
I mean,
That's right.
I feel like if we kill, like that, just to be real, I feel like if we kill this thing, it's just gonna be a classic banish railroad spike problem. He'll just die.
I'm just not really looking. I'm just kind of point my finger at it and fire it.
All right. Bolt go flying through the air, catches into this thing. You can see the flames rolling across its scaly body, unprepared for this range attack against it, and so focused on the hound as it reels back and roars in pain, but still alive.
Shooting that guy or the big guy?
Okay.
I'm going to walk away from the dinosaur that might be turning back to normal. As that we want to.
All right, this last Terror Seeker, still focused on this great battle, is going to be trying to tear into his fated foe, trying to bite down into the hound, finding its ability to run away. Impossible. Chomp. Ooh, but it seems like that firebolt that blasted to its body threw it off kilter, and it bites into the air aimlessly. As we're going down to Swift Hollow.
Yeah, Swift Hollow, looking at the orangutan, Zaru, her crossbow loaded with deadly intent, and then seeing it fall, and then her attention shifts to Tyrant, also with deadly intent. Tut. Why do you do these things to me, Melanie?
Worst case scenario, we'll all have to just dogpile the tyrant.
Welcome to. I don't really want to crap on your scenario, but also Swift Hollow is neutral enough to not give a fuck about your feelings. Death doesn't care about your feelings. As Swift Hollow will attempt to scale down. She's not gonna fucking yeet herself off, even though she has the ability to do so. I don't really want to take 46 falling damage.
We do have some magic boots that can remove the damage.
Oh, once for long rest.
Who knows when we might need that again.
Yeah, who knows when I'm gonna need to like fucking fling myself into the air.
That's a short rest. Longer short rest.
Is it a short rest?
Yeah, skybound.
Oh, then you get back. Fucking jump.
Hey!
Fucking be bombastic. Jump onto the dinosaur. It's fine. You can make it.
Yeah, just jump into his mouth and just lay in there like you're sunbathing.
Actually, I feel like you probably can make it with how much they increase your jump distance.
Mm-hmm.
Jump onto the
Yeah, I'm
dinosaur.
rechecking. I'm checking my jump calculator.
It'll be another momentous moment for the Valiant Vanguard.
It is when you use the skybound, it basically your jump distance becomes 10 times what it normally is.
Right.
So 10 times your strength
but
score,
I'm
or
not
10
gonna have a
times.
running start. My long jump with my 8 strength, my long jump is 4 feet. If I skybound, my long jump becomes 40 feet. So I can literally just jump across to the other pillar.
Yeah.
I'll do that, sort of kicking her heels, and then in one, she sort of turns around, use the arrow. Sort of turns this way as she sort of walks back to the edge of the pillar, and then in one graceful movement, she just jumps off and does a giant backflip all the way to this pillar, calling upon the magic of her boots, jumping 40 feet.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna give you with the jump boost plus your acrobatics. I feel like that you do that pretty well. Landing quite gracefully.
I was gonna be even more superhero-y. Gonna be more fucking anime bullshit as she is sort of midair and back upside down, you know.
Here we go.
Aiming down her crossbow. Murderous intent
Let me
in
get the
hand.
bucket of dirty. All right. Yeah.
Go on. Go
I'm
on.
pulling out the dirty bucket. I'm pulling out. All right, anime cinematic bullshit. I get to pull off. just mid backflip with her crossbow loaded, aiming the sight and firing at the whatever the fuck that thing's called, the dinosaur.
Animated by Studio Trigger, of course.
Oh,
Yeah, I have a Studio Trigger. Good night.
as how do you want to kill this thing?
As doing the backflip upside down, essentially upside down, but taking the shot in a graceful arc. Midair, taking it down as a crossbow bolt penetrates through its head as she gracefully lands. Right side up.
Upside
Yeah,
down.
where are you? There you go. And she lands on her feet on the other pillar.
I'm gonna take some liberties here, and as his foe is no longer alive, the Hound is going to come over to Luna, take a knee before turning into a black mist.
Sure. Comes down. It's task complete. Fading away.
I need to get myself one of those.
All right. Is that your turn, Swift Hollow?
That is Swift Hollow's turn.
What
Lower
a
my bow.
stunning strike! A single blow between its eyes brought the creature down. Well done, Elf. As you're all dead, Samantha. You see Persephone riding on Tyrant.
Yes, Samantha is gonna just sort of walk. Which way is Vin? Which north or south?
Seems like he's coming from the north side.
Yeah, sort of walk to the edge of the circle. Well, is that all you have for the first round? I think there's just this thing left. Need we kill it too?
No, we're friends.
Have you conquered Tyrant? Can you claim him as your ally? Is it true, Tyrant? I know of magic that can twist the mind, but how long? Is he truly your ally? Is he truly your pet now?
Oh God, he's onto us.
So be it. Vanguard, railroad spike positions.
Aww.
As Samantha will continue her advance another 15 feet, making way for you to bring Tyrant, I guess, to the midst of us.
It seems it is. Or it seems it is not. All right. It seems we'll wait for the magic to wear off. There is still a beast to slay. Although he is your friend now, perhaps he will be an enemy soon enough.
Good. Motivation.
All right. As Ozora is dead, seems like you guys have some at least about 25 seconds before you feel your magic losing itself slowly. What do you do with Tyrant, Persephone?
Persephone, you should leave them here. Those that need to be close are already close. Those that can fire from far are already far.
Okay, just give me a chance to get down and say goodbye.
Fine. I will ready myself to just fucking, eviscerate his tail. Just, chop it off.
All right.
I have some incendiary bolts ready. We went past my action, but I'm holding a cast of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
I'm just holding all 3 attacks.
As Persephone, what do you do?
Purse rubs Tyrant's back.
You did good. This was fun, but I'm sorry it's come to this.
And she's just gonna kiss her 2 fingers and pass it onto his back and climb down from him with half her movement. And because I move a lot, I'm just going to move on back.
You see this little doughy eye mist as you get off his body, and then he sort of watches you go, sort of looking up like a dog.
I'm not just going to sit there and let you guys attack him, so at the first hit, I'm just going to stop my magic, unless you guys think otherwise. It almost seems cruel.
Let us have a show. It is no fun picking on a defenseless beast.
I'm sure our damage will break your magic eventually anyway.
Let
Okay.
it loose for its turn.
I'm just gonna hold my concentration until I see any of my allies try to strike out at him, but I just
Smile at him and I wave.
Ooh.
Tiny little T-Rex hand.
Well, as I see her wave, I will strike out.
All right, give me that attack. I guess your held attack. Ooh, as 2 strikes come flying out, one cuts into his side, immediately reels back in pain. Say, nice. As he pulls himself back, the second one just too short to reach him, as the last one will connect as well. You see blood flying from this creature. He's got some saves to make, unless Persephone just drops.
God.
Uh-huh.
He only gets 2 hits.
Oh.
The third one is haste. You don't get your hasted attack.
Oh, that's true. So we get 2 hits.
Right.
It's an extra
Yeah,
action,
you're right.
yeah.
Haha,
Sure,
good thinking. Haha.
Yeah, as Quill begins to swing out, I just drop my magic. My flowers stop glowing.
The magic just shatters. And then suddenly this tiny little smiling droopy tongue fades, and then his eyes fill with rage.
Seeing the rage fill his eyes, seeing him toss up his head in anger and roar once more, Samantha lets loose her magic, empowered and wild.
All right, give me those shots. Ooh, both of those will connect.
As the fire begins to lick up his side, trying to take hold.
Nice. Bah and bah. Ooh, neither one making
Double
it.
fire.
As he is currently, it's only been 1, but yeah, fire running up his body, no longer charmed, but still burning.
Put a 2 for the little fireball.
Sure. Oh yeah, that's right, because he stacks.
It stacks. It's 1 save.
Yeah. All right. Is that your turn for something as it came to him? Yep, seemed like that was the moment. As Tyrant now begins to move immediately as his sword carves up his side. He turns down to face you, Cruel Lord, this massive set of jaws coming down on top of you. Jump! Hitting the ground next to you.
The jaws just come down. Oh, fine.
Just smashing into the earth as he turns and then starts running up his
I wanted
way.
it to be cool, Omen, but fine.
He turns to face you, trying to get a better angle as his tail comes swinging up at you, Persephone.
Oh wait, I should have seen that coming. Oh god!
Whoop, it goes right over your head. Missing as it comes to you, Tamar Khan. That's right. Take the
Yeah, it had its turn too, so let me do that. Hold on.
Yeah, 2 fighted. 5.
Oh,
Bam.
okay.
I got you. As Tamar Khan.
Alright. As I just sort of drop my bow off the side of the pillar, picking up my staff once again, as I just take a deep breath, ki filling my lungs and my legs as I take a crouching stance, as I launch myself from the pillar, flying 22 feet without a running jump. That's as far as I can go, but in range with my extended bar, as I just bring it up over my head and just bring it striking down on top of this creature's head, as I just try to bring it directly down onto its crown. It's trying to feel power. The iron bar rests. Finally trying to strike a hearty blow on a worthy creature.
Okay,
Feeling
Matthew
the words of my
McConaughey.
breath.
Oh,
Oh!
There
Here
it
comes
is.
the flavor.
I just crunch down onto the crown of its... doing a good 22 damage.
Ooh, hold on 1 second. Oh shit. Oh shit, 1 moment. Oh shit. Okay.
Oh shit.
Feeling the words, hearing the words of my brother. His advice given me.
Boom, 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 boom.
As Tamar Khan, you bring this thing down with incredible weight that cracks into its head, and the reverberations run up along your bar. And in that next moment, something feels strange about it. In a weird, strange perspective sort of way, for just a moment, it feels heavier. As you finally bring this thing down against a great and worthy foe, striking down and beating this, basically your might into this thing, as the bar lands in your hands, shakes, and then stills, as it seems to have become a bit harder than it once was.
Hey!
That's what
As
she
no
said.
longer do you hold in your hand the iron bar of Rhesus. you hold the steel bar of Rhesus. This massive thing. It grows greater in weight, though no greater to you. You have a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this thing, as well as you are able to adjust the size of the weapon once as a part of the attack action, on top of everything else you can do.
Oh, yeah.
As you
Man,
bash
no
into
wonder
his
your
head.
gorilla brother is mad he didn't get the raw thing.
Yeah.
I hope he's watching.
As I come falling down slightly short, as the wind just seems to pick up around you, Quildor, as I just slightly glide and skid to a stop at the edge of this hole. Wonderful. One more, shall we? As I take it into one hand and just jab it upwards into this thing's chest as my second strike, as I just try to jab up into. Hey, nice little strike.
Is that
One more
connect?
damage. 11 damage this time now.
Nice.
The steel strike.
Crashing into its body again, the weight seeming to drive it even further against this thing's form, seeing the actual leathery flesh deform to the strike.
And with that, the key still infused in my body, I fire back away from it. My body too quick for it to strike out at me. As part of my Step of the Wind, with doubling my jump speed, I also disengage. I leave it to you, Grandal. I'll keep my reputation of being the invincible monkey for now. That's
All right.
Jump back away a good 20 feet or so. I guess I have to like avoid the.
You're on the difficult terrain, yeah.
I'm gonna shoot 20 feet this way. That's me.
Okay, as Luna, you can see this beast is now attacking your allies, although Temercon has landed a hearty blow. And it's also on fire.
From behind this creature, Luna's hair is going to just start turning into like these little wisps of smoke as they will shoot out into this creature, turning into large spikes that shoot through it, almost creating like a secondary image of the tyrant, like it's shooting through its soul as I will cast some light on it.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
As it starts to turn, hearing this incantation, what does it look like when this thing gets hit by your blight?
Yeah, as the spikes run through its body, a secondary tyrant seems to form from outside of it, as it seems like it's just cutting into its very soul.
Just cutting into its form, you see it pull away. It seems like the part that it struck into has become thin and withered like a fossil, as some of the life has just been sucked out of it.
The action, throw a firebolt at him.
Pew! As that will connect. Ooh, a hearty one too, striking into that weakened part of his body, doing a hearty amount of damage. It seems like in your onslaught, this creature is almost dead.
That's my turn.
All right, coming down to Swift Hollow.
Their sight's already aimed. Wah!
Ooh.
Anything.
He
As
did.
how do you kill Tyrant?
Now, Swift Hollow aiming down the sights, turning her attention from the other dinosaur now to the big game in front of her. As she aims it down and christening the bolt to take him down. Long live the king. As right between the eyes.
Catching him, this tiny little bolt getting through this thick skull. You can see just a tuft of the bolt's feather sticking out as it looks towards you, Swift Hollow, finally having matched your gaze, and its mouth opens, but there's no sound. Instead, it just falls forward at one stumbling step. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. As it falls dead, and in those reverberating shakes, the crowd grows silent for a moment, or suddenly just erupting in cheer. And there it is, folks! The beasts of the past have been slain, taken aback by those who now claim the world, the challengers of the arena, the valiant vanguard. Go ahead and give yourselves a bow! You've earned it! You are truly great warriors!
And with my quickened speed, as I bow, I'm going to cut out 3 of its largest teeth. Making sure that I earmark 1 for Joey, 1 for... What was the other kid's name?
Sam.
Nina.
And the other
Sam.
ones.
And that last one.
Yep. Nope, just the boys, and then a
Hey,
third
kids.
one
Yeah,
for
like,
the
look
guild
at her
hall.
joke.
You will see,
Kids,
Goldor,
check out the
as you
skeleton.
start to rip out these teeth, you start seeing. You can see some of these other creatures around you begin to burst in this golden flame, and the flames that continue to burn along Tyrant's body seem to fuse with this now golden fire that spreads along its form. And as it does, you can see behind it leaves this sort of withered skeletal form, even running up off your hands into the teeth you've plucked, although you pulled a couple of them just quick enough to where they stay nice and porcelain, but one of them now looks almost fossilized and petrified, as it seems like the magic keeping this thing together and whole is now fading. You can have some petrified-looking teeth in your hands.
That's fun.
Yeah, fossils! As you see all of these creatures now falling away, fire rolling across their bodies, as the Valiant Vanguard is then escorted, along with anything else they want to say, to the barracks for a 30-minute break and rest to recoup themselves and begin what might be an even more challenging fight than the last, as that is where we will end tonight's session.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, guys! We got 2 more rounds of this.
Oh yeah.
I'm
How
fine.
can
I
you
get all my
top
shit
that?
back.
How do you top King Kong versus Godzilla?
You'll
What
just have
else
to
are you
see.
gonna send at us? And here comes the giant fest.
Now we have to fight a giant disembodied hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that.
As you hear an
Smash
ominous
Brothers
voice
level.
from
The
above.
white glove
You
just.
have the M for mini, W for Wombo.
Oh
Ooh.
my goodness! Goodness gracious, that was a ton of fun. I can't wait to see what I'm gonna write for next week's inspiring leader speech. Oh my god, I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with us and for being here. I want to thank How I Nerd for the excellent raid earlier today. Thank you so much for that. And thank you all so much, everyone that followed, Manda, Guilty Cosplay, and Vampire54, anyone else. I thank you all so much for being with us. We are streaming D&D right here on Nighthead Gaming 3 nights a week. Coming up in just a few days, this Sunday, the Heroes of Thylea stream at 5 p.m. Eastern, as the Oracle's chosen, those fated to save the world from the evil Titan's wrath, continue their assault on the Mithril mines, trying to clear out the caverns within, facing down the troglodyte hordes, not to mention the famed Cerberus deep within, and apparently the lair of a Dragon King. There's a lot to unpack in that mysterious place. What will they find? What will they uncover? And will they survive? Be sure to tune in this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, or check out the podcast recording afterwards on anchor.fm/LionheadGaming or anywhere else you look to listen to podcasts. To find out and keep up with us on that. And then we'll be coming right back around this upcoming Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The famed Janeway has returned to the world of the living, and she has given us the knowledge and tools we need to confront these crazy Feywildian zealots so that we can finally close these horrible portals to the material plane, allowing horrific mutations and wild Fey energy to sprout out in places it shouldn't. The Apex Alliance have had a lot on their minds and a lot on their backs, but now they have a problem, they have a solution, they just need to apply it, and that is damn sure what they're damn good at. So be sure to tune in this Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern to find out what happens on Kingdoms of the South. Thank you all so much for being here. We're gonna go ahead and find somebody else wonderful to host, doing some D&D. Looks like maybe perhaps friends who roll dice. We'll go ahead and give them a little host and bid them farewell on their own journeys. So with that, as
May your
always,
dice roll 20, and you forever make your fade.
that is
Wow.
not the line. That's not the line.
See what happens when you get a figurative girlfriend in a game, see? Steals your
Oh my
life.
goodness.
You can't say that when I'm his actual fiance, though.
Yes, in a game, so...
As always, may your dice roll 20s, and you always make your saves.
Bye.
By Lionhead Gaming.